deported. However, if you go and you apply for your visa and you go and you do the things that you need to do in requirements, however, I do understand that it takes 3 to 5 years to get approved. I do think that there is a place in our country, but if you're just over here doing willy-nilly shit, then no, I don't.
Okay. All right. Well, I actually find this to be quite hypocritical of you. And I'll tell you why. Because the first thing that you told us is that you're staunchly pro-life. So you don't like it when women kill the fetus living in their uterus. But you're also in support of Donald Trump's mass deportation, meaning that you do like it when ICE, rips naked children out of their homes and throws them back into the back of U-Haul vans and then deports them without granting them due process. It's hypocritical. You know what I mean?
I guess what I'm trying to say, with children, I believe that children should be ripped out of their homes? Absolutely not. I don't believe any child should be ripped out of their homes. I believe that there's a peaceful way to go through it. Now, has Trump showed that? Absolutely not. But do I believe and hope and pray that he will? Yes.
You said pray. Are you a Christian?
Yes, I am. Do
you know what Leviticus 19:23 says?
Honestly, no, I don't.
Let's go ahead and just whip it up on screen here. I think I have it downloaded from the same conversation that I had with somebody literally yesterday. Where is it at? Okay, it's actually not Leviticus 19:23. It's Leviticus 19:33. It says when a foreigner... Oh, is she gone? Did she leave? You're joking. Why did she leave? She's gone. Layla, no, come back. We were in the middle of a debate. Layla, no, you can't do that. Boo. Boo. Let's get some Laylas in the chat because she left when I was just trying to have a linear, productive dialogue with her about American politics and why she supports Trump. Layla, that was super mean. Come on. That's not very pro-life of you because my life is hurt because you left in the middle of the conversation. We're going to move on to the next guest, I guess. Layla's gone. Nothing we could do about it now. So, unfortunate. Let's go and get that next guest, Ep10, loaded up into the box. Bye-bye, Layla. Okay. All right. Yeah, if you're watching over on the YouTube, if you're part of the 1.3K people that have already tuned in, make sure to drop a like on the stream. That'd be super cool. What's going on, Ep10? Do you support Trump?
Nah, I'm not even going.
Unfortunately, I got to kick you, my friend. We're going to move on to the next guest, guys. Follow the rules, please. I would really appreciate it if that's something that you could do for me. The rules are simple. Just be an American adult that is at least 18 years of age. That's pro-Trump. Oh, I just saw Layla's comment. Yeah, definitely banned. I just saw that Layla commented on the stream. She said, no. And then I clicked on her account to invite her back. And I actually don't have the availability to invite her back. So it looks like her TikTok got sniped by the terms of service. I don't know what for. TikTok sucks sometimes. I'm sorry, Layla.
Dean, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't want to request you and I'm a minor. I'm not American. I'm so sorry.
Have a good one. We're going to move on to the next guest, guys. I'm going to go ahead and give you the rules while we're looking for that next guest. I swear to y'all, they are super duper simple. You just have to be at least 18. You have to be MAGA, meaning that you support Trump. And you got to be an American that's ready and willing to debate. She the one, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And how old are you?
I'm 22.
Well, your bio says treat others how they want to be treated. Do you think that Trump treats others the way they want to be treated? The way that he wants to be treated?
I feel like okay, so how I feel about Trump, I feel like he's more like a very strict dad right now. And he's just cracking down and just doing things in a very, it's a tough love kind of way.
Well, I mean, I don't think that illegally deporting an immigrant like Abrigo Garcia to be beaten and tortured in El Salvador is quote-unquote tough love from a strict dad. And if you happen to know a strict dad that would execute tough love upon children like that, I think that he should probably have CPS called on him.
Okay, well, are you saying they're getting beaten and harmed by people in the U.S. specifically? How do you know that for sure?
How do I know that Abrigo Garcia was beat, tortured, and harmed inside a CCOT? It's because he testified to it inside of a courtroom. And like he said, he did come back 30 pounds lighter in a matter of weeks. I'm actually looking at your repost. You're not a Trump supporter.
I am a Trump supporter.
You are not. You're a troll. We're going to go ahead and move on to a real Trump supporter because they're trolling. Let's go to move on to the next guest, Maze. Thank you so much for the $1 over at Venmo. I appreciate you for that love. With the third donation of the day, Layla, thank you for the $3 over on PayPal for the second donation of the day. And Heidi, thank you for the $5 on PayPal for the first donation of the day. Thank you so much, Heidi, Layla, and Maze. And what is going on, Livy? Do you support Trump?
Oh my God, I did not mean to request. I actually have spoken to you before. My bad.
Oh, shit. You've spoken to me before, you MAGA? Well, I guess we'll never know because she's gone. Okay, moving on to the next guest. Here we go. I'm so sorry that you guys keep on hearing that sound coming from my computer. It's because I have my phone plugged in right now to the computer to charge because it's on like literally 1%. But I guess the cable I'm using to charge is like literally fucking broken. So these minuscule movements I'm making here are completely like throwing it off and causing it to reconnect, disconnect, so on and so forth. What's going on, Philly? Do you support?
Hello?
Sorry, that's not Philly. That's Dylan. What's up, Dylan? Do you support Trump? Or are you banned?
Hell yeah, I voted for him.
Okay, now are you driving?
No, why would I ever be driving?
I mean,
Hello?
Trump shamelessly lies like this, so it makes sense that you would too.
Well, do you have any proof I'm driving?
Yes, in fact, I do.
Fuck.
We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest. Follow the rules. What are we doing? What are we doing? Follow the rules. Oh, well, I guess that's not one of the rules that's like on screen, so I can't get too mad at him. That is like one of the silent rules, though. You know what I mean? Just because we don't see it too often. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, folks. Everybody in the chat is spamming Fox News. What do you want from Fox News? They're not live on TikTok or anything. What are y'all talking about? Go ahead and put a me with your age down below in that comment section if you are an American adult that supports Trump that'd like to come up here and have a conversation with me. Right now, we're just looking for a singular Trump supporter to have a convo. And like, I'm going to be honest, guys, like the Trump supporters are just nowhere to be found. They're literally extinct. What's up? What's up?
I'm here.
What's up? How old are you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born in?
2007.
And do you support Trump?
Yeah.
Why?
Okay, let me tell you why. So, I think that politics in general is something where nobody really wins, but the best decision to make would be to vote for the right.
Okay. Why?
Well, because I feel like both of them have like the same core values, and of which like the way they mess up things, but
Absolutely not.
they have different. Okay, can I finish? They have differences in which like I guess there is worse things. Like I don't agree with the way that he's being so harsh with the border security, but at the same time, I think the things that he's doing that are putting good things in America are better and like worth it to vote for him for compared to the left, which is profiting off of our tax dollars, making schools full of basically like just they're both bad. If you want, I can touch more on why I think the left is worse, but I think you get my point.
So you just
I don't know what you think.
Well, I mean, first, I want you to be able to like tell us the things that the Trump administration is doing that you think makes it all quote unquote worth it. But even like before you do that, like what do you mean that the left is profiting off of your tax dollars? That doesn't really make any sense. What do you mean?
Because they're putting it towards like useless things.
Like what?
And they're putting okay, well
Like are they
both of
putting
them
it
are
towards like a $5 trillion expenditure bill that reduces the purchasing power of the average American while increasing the after-tax income for the top 1% and kicking 10 million people off of healthcare and 3 million people off of food stamps in the process? Is that like one of the places that the left is uselessly spending your tax dollars?
Okay, I get what you mean, right? Because Trump does.
That's what Trump did. That wasn't the left. That was the right.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're trying to like imply. The right, yes, they do have small things like that that are bad, but the thing is, the amount of
small.
good
That
things
was
that they
literally
do.
the most expensive bill in American history.
Okay, but still, at the same time, the things they do to negate that and make the overall profits higher are still in a way that makes it
And what are those good
profitable and
things?
better than that. Well, like for instance, tariffs. I mean, it's a hot topic, but there could be profits, and also the stocks are looking, okay, the stocks are debatable as well, but overall they've had a increase like over time since he's been elected.
Well, I mean, they've also had an increase over time in the last 100 years, 50 years, 20 years, 10 years.
Okay, yeah,
5 years. So
understandable,
I'm not
but,
really
like-
sure that that's going to be too solid of a claim. Now, the
Okay.
first thing you said is that you think that the tariffs are going to be profitable for the American people. How so?
Well, because like other than China being, the main distributor, which carries like what I don't know, I think I heard like 60% of all like marketable goods. Beyond that, like somebody has to stand up, right? Because if they don't, they're gonna be the ones in control. They're the ones who have the GPUs and all the technology that they can, limit off from America. Of course, like maybe some places are worse than others, but in general, it's gonna be something that is gonna implement like further growth for America in the future, and
Can I be
also
honest?
becoming, yeah.
It's a little bit difficult for me to have an economic debate with somebody that doesn't understand economics. And I'm not saying that as a diss. I understand that could come off rude or arrogant. But I honestly think that we need to normalize people being more comfortable with their lack of understanding on any given topic, right? And not take it as a bad thing when somebody points it out. So you're telling me that you support tariffs on China because China produces GPUs. And if we impose the tariffs on China, this is somehow going to be beneficial to Americans. There's no substance in that. It kind of just sounds like you're talking. Now, if you want to attempt to give me an argument with substance, if you attempt to want to give me an argument to demonstrate the profit that America is going to see off of the tariffs that we're imposing on other countries in the world, feel free to do so. But if you genuinely feel like you can't do so, which is honestly what I feel like you can't do so, just say that,
Well, let me give it a shot, right? Well, I appreciate, I'm not taking any like harsh feelings, I understand you probably are more educated since this is your job. But at the same time, the reason why I think the tariffs for China are a good thing, right? Or because obviously initially we are going to see some like downward growth in everything regarding like economics. But at the same time, if we don't put a stop to it now, how do you
Put a stop to what?
Well, not a stop, but if we don't, oppose, or if we don't
Oppose
try
what?
to stand our own ground,
Stand our own ground about what?
well, you see, like, okay, it's kind of obvious how AI in the future is going to be like the most, driving forward marker of like
I don't know how AI.
success.
Why are we talking about AI in a conversation about?
Well, because it
me
relates to the
asking
same
you for
reason
an
on why
economic
the
argument
tariffs.
insofar as why you support Donald Trump's tariffs.
Because it's the same reason on why the tariffs against China are a good reason. You told me.
Okay, it's the
why do
same
you
reason
think?
why the tariffs. So what is that reason? Be clear, be
Well,
succinct, and
okay,
make your point.
let me try to-
What is a very clear reason why the tariffs that we've imposed on China and other countries are good?
Trump and America in general is somebody who was, always wanted to be independent. And the way that China is moving in the market of technology currently, they are going to be the ones that are, holding the high ground and holding the leverage over America, right? And Trump, I feel like he's trying to put a stop to, not a stop, but he's trying to stand his ground and show that, like, regardless of what kind of technology they have, like
How is Donald Trump's tariffs going to stop or slow China's technological advancement?
it's not going to stop or slow their technological advancement, but it's a way of fighting back in a way.
Wait, if it's not going to stop or slow it, then how is it fighting it?
It's not about fighting it. It's about
You
showing
just
that
said it
you're
was
not.
about fighting it. You just said this is a way to fight back, and now you're saying it's not about fighting it. So if it's not about stopping their technological advancement, if it's not about slowing their technological advancement, if it's not about fighting their technological advancement, then what is it about? This is gibberish.
Well, like, okay, this is one point of all of my points, but
Well, we are not even clear on what your one point here is. What's the point?
my one point here is like my main point, the one I came here on with, is that what's it called?
You can't even dude, you can't even.
No, I was distracted by the anxiety pen, dude. But as I was saying, the main point I had was that the right makes mistakes, so does the left. They're
No,
both bad.
stop
The better
talking.
decision is
Stop
the right.
abstracting the conversation. You told us that one reason why you support Trump is because of his tariffs on China, but I'm asking you
That
why
is
his
not
tariffs
the
on
one
China are a
reason.
good thing.
I told.
You said
I mean,
one
the
of
first
the
thing I
reasons.
came in here
You said
and
one of
said
the
was
reasons.
that-
Give an argument. Why are his tariffs on China a good thing? Without gibberish, without a word salad this time. Okay? 2 sentences or less. Be direct, be succinct, and be clear. Why
Because-
are Donald Trump's tariffs on China a good thing?
He's trying to impose authority over the other countries.
What authority do we have over China that justifies the tariffs by imposing the tariffs?
Not really authority. I mean, it's
Bruh,
more of a thing
Get
of like.
out of here. Get out of here. You're cooked, dude. Get the hell out. That's like the 3rd time he's done that, where he said, I support the tariffs because they're fighting something. And then I'm like, how are they fighting this thing? And he's like, not really fighting. And then he's like, I support the tariffs because they're imposing authority. Then I'm like, what authority? And he's like, well, it's not really authority. Get the hell out of here. We're going to move on to the next guest. And make sure if you find yourself in that queue that you are an American adult that supports Trump as president. What's up? Are you MAGA?
Oh my
gosh, I love you, Dean.
All right, Patrick, you take care now. I'm going to go to ban you, though. Only hop in that queue if you happen to be following the rules, folks. Only hop in that queue if you happen to be following the rules. Everybody is spamming Fox News on YouTube. I just looked up Fox News on YouTube. I couldn't find like a live stream or anything. Like, what specifically are you looking for me guys to like react to? While we're looking for that next guy, Belzian King. It's good to see you, man. Thank you so much for the $50 super chat over on YouTube, Belzian. That is incredibly kind of you. I want to see 500 Belzian W's down below in that comment section for the $50 on super chat. Belzian with the $50 says, "Hey Dean, I've been gone for a while. Had to pay bills before I donate." Belzian, you never feel like you gotta donate, dude. Never feel like you gotta donate in a billion years. I know you didn't say that, but I just wanted to bring that up in case that's how you feel. I really appreciate you for your kindness. Show some love to Belzine down below in that chat. As well as Camp. It's so good to see you. Thank you for the $50 over on Super Chat as well. Camp with the $50 says thank you for performing a valuable public service, Camp. You're always in here. I really appreciate you for the love. Show some love to Belzine and Camp down below in that chat. Thank you both. What's up, Jack? Do you support Trump?
I do not.
All right, Jack, unfortunately, I got to ban you. Moving on to the next guest here, guys. Stop making me ban you. Only up in that queue of your MAGA. Let's go and get that next guest, Andrew, connected in and loaded into the stream right now. We might even load in like multiple people at once, so hopefully like out of one of the people that we load in. And loaded into the stream right now. We might even load in like multiple people at once, so out of... Okay, the echo went away. What's up, Andrew? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay, Philly, how about you? Are you MAGA?
Yup.
And Philly, how old are you?
19.
And what time is it?
You're built like a newborn baby, by the way.
Okay, why are you talking to somebody that's built like a newborn baby? Kind of weird, bro.
You're built like a newborn baby doesn't make you a born baby.
What do you mean built like a newborn baby?
You're built like a tiny guy. You think you're epitome of a masculine guy, you're not.
Okay, and in what way am I tiny?
You're small, you got no good physique, you've nothing to show.
That's not really irrelevant to the conversation, though, to be honest.
I'm telling him that he's born like a newborn baby.
You're talking about like...
Yeah, but what the fuck does that have to do with his political
Andrew, bro,
views?
stop sucking his dick, bro. Get off his dick,
I'm not
man.
sucking his dick. I'm
You're
on your
sucking his dick
side.
so
You're
well.
not making any
It's
sense.
crazy.
You're just saying shit.
Hey,
What does his
get your
build
boyfriend.
have to do with his political views? Does that
You
mean
think
women
he's-
can have
he's
opinions?
built
You
like a newborn
dumbass
baby,
fuck.
bro.
What the
He's
fuck are you
small.
talking about?
Andrew,
He's
man,
small.
you
So
suck it
what?
well. Dean, are you
Is
finished?
everyone supposed to be big? Are you dumb?
What the? Yo, listen, Andrew. I think that you're cooking. I'm pretty sure. Thank you, Andrew. Philly, back
He's
to you.
riding your dick really well.
Andrew's a Trump supporter that came up here to debate me. I don't know if you even know what you're saying. Anyways, Philly. So you said that I'm small, like physically, like physique wise.
Yeah.
Is this like an intricate plan to get me to show you my biceps?
No, you have no biceps to show.
Are you?
You're gonna show your skinny arms. Show your skinny arms.
Oh, it is.
For the-
Why are you trying to
for the
see my
girls to show-
arms, Andrew?
I'm not trying to see your arms.
No, Philly. Wait, sorry. Your name's not Andrew. It's Philly.
I saw your video. You said that you're the epitome of a masculine man.
I
You're
was
not.
I was just about to show you my arms, but then I thought to myself, like maybe it's a plot.
What? Do you think I'm gay?
Whoa, dude! I'm saying nothing about your sexual orientation. All I'm saying is that I think it's definitely a little bit interesting that you're coming up here being like, Dean, you have no muscles. Show me those arms, Dean. Pull them out, Dean. You have no muscles. Anyways, no, you got bad. We're Andrew, what's up? When you're like kind of cooking him, I did hear a British accent. What time is it?
I don't have a British accent, but it is 5:02 where I am.
5:02 p.m.
Yeah,
Okay, and what state are you in?
New York.
New York. What's the capital of New York?
I don't fucking know.
Listen, bro, you were chill. You were chill for the time. I gotta kick you now because you're not in America, but you were chill for the time you spent up here with us. All right, we're gonna go to move on to the next guest, Big Rob. We're gonna go to get that next guest loaded up into the box. Here we go, folks. Hop inside of that queue if you do indeed support Donald J. Trump as president. What's up? Are you MAGA? Okay, something weird is going on with Big Rob's mic, so we're going to go to kick him and move on to the next guest. Give us a minute, y'all, so we can get that next guest loaded up into the box. If you happen to be one of the 17,000 people hanging out with us in here for the stream for the day, guys, just make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen, sharing the side out with a handful of friends. Y'all already know it. And while we're getting the next guest up here, Ariana, thank you for the $2 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Ariana. As well as Morgan, thank you for the $50 on PayPal. Sorry, on Venmo, who says, hey, Dean, keep telling the truth. The right doesn't want to hear it. Thank you, Morgan. Huge shout out to you down below. Let's get 150 Morgan Kirsten W's down below in that chat, as well as 150 Kirsten W's for the $15 on PayPal, who says your arguments are stellar. Thank you, Kirsten. As well as Vanessa with the $5 on PayPal, Scott with the $5 on PayPal, and Carolina with the $5 as well. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. What's going on, Caleb? Do you support Trump?
I do.
And how old are you?
I'm 26.
All right, Caleb. Well, listen, I'm not going to lie. I feel like the Trump supporters that we've had on so far today have been very emotional. Do you consider yourself an emotional man?
No.
So this is going to be a good, clean, productive dialogue. I like that, Caleb. Take it away. Why the hell do you support Trump?
So one, the peace deal that he just made was a big thing I supported. He said he would create peace in the Middle East. He did.
Yeah. So you really support like the cessation of the death of innocent Palestinians, men, women, and children, correct?
No.
Can you repeat the question that I asked you just to make sure we're on the same page?
No, rephrase it, please. Make sure I heard it right.
So you really support like trying to stop, right, the killing of innocent men, women, and children in Palestine. Okay,
Yeah.
then how like absolutely, right, insanely grossed out were you 2 months ago when Donald Trump did a joint press conference with Netanyahu and literally just straight up told Netanyahu that he was down to send the American military into Gaza to ethnically cleanse by forcefully relocating the 2.1 million Palestinians that lived on the Strip to Jordan and Egypt, then to level and flatten the Gaza Strip, to build a Riviera, then gift it to Netanyahu?
No, I thought that was wrong.
Right. But see, these things are like, they're contradictory to one another. And what this tells me in my head is that I think that Donald Trump has some nefarious intention here. Right? I'm happy, that Palestinians are moving back into the Gaza Strip, although 90% of their houses are destroyed. I'm happy to see videos of like the women and children celebrating because now we have food and aid coming back into Gaza. I think that's awesome. But I only think that Donald Trump is working with Netanyahu here to kind of act as an opportunist at a time and on the global stage where they're starting to we're starting to see an increase of anti-Israeli sentiment because of their ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians. I mean, Canada just recognized Palestinian statehood. Same thing with Australia. France and Germany stopped all weapon shipments into Gaza. And quite frankly, I'm just going to, cut to the chase here. People no longer like Israel. It's not a right versus left issue. It's a young versus old issue, at least from what I've seen. And I think that Donald Trump has taken advantage of this to play peacemaker after the last year of him playing warmongerer by discrediting the Biden-Harris administration for the limitations that they set on all the weapon shipments to Israel, by saying that Israel just needs to finish the job by working with Israel to ethnically cleanse all the Palestinians that remain.
The Biden-Harris administration just actually applauded Trump for his handling of the Middle East.
Right. And just because Biden says something doesn't mean that I have to find it to be true.
No, I'm with you. I can agree with you on that.
Right. And like, those are my thoughts. And then also like, maybe like one last thing I left out here. Donald Trump violated the Logan Act and had back channel communication with Netanyahu prior to the election and like told him to postpone on accepting a peace deal or a ceasefire agreement with Palestine until after the election or until he was in office. Right. So he actively delayed the process of achieving a peace deal so he could claim credit for it. And this is something that we had like reports on literally last November, December. Hello, are you here?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I just think we disagree on, like, I think the things that, I guess, how do I put it, like, the way I believe with the peace in the Middle East and the way you see it is two different ways.
So are you, like, applauding him for, like, freeing the hostages?
Yes.
Okay. 83% of the hostages were freed under the Biden-Harris administration. So why didn't you just vote for Kamala Harris if this was your number one priority, given that they already had successfully freed 83% of the hostages?
But they did not.
They did. Yeah, they did.
No, that's
under the Biden-Harris administration, I think it was like 120 hostages were freed. That's true.
Yeah, no, that, like, I would have to look that up because that's definitely not a statement that is true.
Okay, why do you think that's false?
I mean, it's factual that you can go to New York Times anywhere and see that I think it was 87% of hostages were freed within the last month and a half.
No, it was 83% of the hostages that were freed under the Biden-Harris administration.
Okay, well, I mean, that's something I'll look up and I will see. And if you're right, hey, you're right.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have any other reasons why you support Trump?
I have many, like, there's many reasons I support the guy. Like I said, I got the peace in the Middle East.
Okay, once
That
again,
was
we
a
already
big
went,
thing
we
for
already
me.
went through that there. Donald Trump literally ran on being the most pro-Israel president ever. Donald Trump ran on like the very small limitations that the Biden-Harris administration had put on weapon shipments to Israel, as calling them bad, saying that we need to give them everything that they need to literally, quote unquote, finish the job. Donald Trump did a joint press conference with Netanyahu, literally saying that he wants to ethnically cleanse the rest of the Gaza Strip by forcefully relocating everybody that
okay, I'll give you another
to Jordan
reason.
and Egypt. Donald Trump absolutely played the card of being like so anti-Palestine and so pro-Israel because he thought that would be the winning card to garner the support on the global stage and domestically. Now he's finally hopping on the bandwagon, many years late, and saying that, oh, we need peace just because of the growing anti-Israeli sentiment on the global stage from countries like Chicago, Jesus Christ, countries like Canada and Australia recognizing Palestinian statehood, and countries like France and Germany stopping weapon shipments. Okay, the fact of the matter is Israel's losing steam. They're realizing that if they continue their ethnic cleansing on Palestine, that they are seriously going to lose all support globally, because everybody is starting to wake up to how absolutely morally abrasive, gross, and disgusting it is.
They are
they
not.
want it to end. And because Netanyahu and Trump are just such great buddies, and Netanyahu is willing to violate the Logan Act and actually delay on accepting a ceasefire agreement, as Donald Trump directed him to, until after the election under the Biden-Harris administration, he now wants to play buddy-buddy with Trump to attempt to dress Trump up as the all-powerful, all-good God and ending the conflict in the Middle East, when in all reality, Donald Trump is just an opportunist that historically delayed the ending of conflict and ethnic cleansing by convincing Netanyahu to delay accepting a ceasefire agreement under the Biden-Harris administration until after the election. Those are the facts. What's your response?
So I'm gonna go ahead and say you asked me another reason I support the president. I support that he's sending the troops into cities in the U.S. to help with the crime crackdown.
Okay, got it. So we need to crack down on crime. So you think that criminals should face consequences for their crimes?
I do.
Okay. Well, you understand that Donald Trump is a criminal, 34-count felon, and the only reason why he
But
didn't
hang
face
on, was he
consequences-
he actually convicted on those? He was not.
He was.
He was not. No. Then if he was, he would not. He would be in prison right now.
How much money would you like to bet?
A lot.
Name an amount. Like actually bet.
So you're telling me that he
wait,
was.
1 second. Like,
But hang on, no. See,
no.
you're telling me that he
how
was
much
convicted
money-
and put in jail. You're
how
saying
much-
he was convicted and put in jail.
You're shifting the goalposts. You just said convicted.
I'm not though. I'm not, because that's exactly what I just said. What
said
we were just
convicted.
talking about.
How much money do you want to bet that he
But
wasn't convicted? Oh my God.
was he put through?
Listen, you said he wasn't convicted. How much money do you want to bet on that claim?
No. Was he put through
Was he
on the charges?
Yes.
Like, was he put into? He got locked up over charges.
So he was found guilty, 34 felonies. He's a criminal. He's a felon. That was my claim, and then you told me I was wrong, right?
You are.
Okay. How much do you want to bet? Like literally, how much money? Come back into the app. Come back into the app.
Nah.
How much money do you
I'm
want
in
to
the.
bet?
Well, I mean, you tell me.
$100?
That you're saying he was convicted.
Yeah, $100?
He was not convicted.
Okay, do you want to bet? Dude, come back into TikTok. You're leaving the TikTok app. Likely to go to Google. I can't hear you when you leave the app. Come back. Slow down. Just come back. Do you want to put $100 on that claim? Dude, we can't hear you. He's obviously on Google, like furiously, like typing away right now. Bro, Caleb, come back to TikTok. Is he run? I think he might be leaving. What's up with all these fucking runners today, dude? What's up with all these runners? Come on, bro. Come on, Caleb. And he left. Okay. I'm going to tell you all why he left. It's because he went to Google on his phone and he typed in, "Is Donald Trump a convicted felon?" And then Google responded yes on 34 counts. So then he left. He went to his task manager and swiped out of the TikTok app. As soon as he went to Google and looked that up, he said, "Oh shit." He said, "Oh God, I can't handle the embarrassment." So he went to his task manager and swiped up on the TikTok app. Okay. All right. Sounds good. We are literally less than 30 minutes into the stream, and we've already had 2 guests run away. We are on a roll today, guys. We're going to go to get that next Trump supporter, Mr. Scott, loaded up and connected into the stream. Dear Lordy Lord. B, thank you for the $10. Scott, hi, are you here? Do you support Trump? Shitty mic. I'm sorry, Scott. I got to disconnect you. Thank you, B, for the $10 over on Super Chat. Show some love to B down below in that chat while we're looking for that next Trump supporter, folks. As well as Dominic. Thank you so much for the $25 over on PayPal. Thank you, my man. Dominic with the $25 says, watch your streams from the UK. Awesome, man. All the love to you and all the love to the UK. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for the $25. I'll be spending that at the airport tomorrow on my way out to DC. Hell yeah, I'm going to have fun. Let's go to get that next Trump supporter loaded up in here. Guys, hop inside of that queue if you happen to be MAGA. And like I was saying on Parker's Live earlier, I'll go and repeat it now. I'm not going to be live for a couple days. I'm going to be out in DC doing a couple cool things. What's up? Are you MAGA?
I am not MAGA. I just had to say you rock, Dean. I just had to say you rock, bro. That last.
Thank you so much for the love, man. You're awesome. Show some love to that awesome guest down below in that comment section. I am going to disconnect you because we are just looking for Trump supporters, but I think you're based, as well as Camp. Thank you so much for another $50 super chat over on that YouTube stream. Show some love to Camp down below while we are still looking for that next Trump supporter. Camp with the $50 says, since the caller welched on the bet, here's what you're entitled to. No, Camp. No, they didn't actually, they didn't technically accept the bet, but I still really appreciate you for the $50. That is so generous of you. Show some love to the legend Camp down below. You've been supporting me like all day, and you've been here for a long time. Thank you, Camp. What's up, Javier? Do you support Trump? 5 seconds before you're banned, buddy. No, Javier is gone. Guys, I think that right now we're dealing with a MAGA extinction where the Trump supporters know their views are indefensible, so they won't even try to defend them. There's absolutely no excuse for the notion that we could have over 18,000 people in here on TikTok as we do and not have an ability to find a single Trump supporter. Can we get a W MAGA extinction down below? What's up? Do you support Trump?
Sure do.
Okay, how old are you?
21.
I guess the MAGA extinction hasn't occurred yet, so all right, sounds good, man. Let me go ahead and thank 2 people here before we hop into the debates, into our debate. Ben, thank you for the $5 on Venmo, who says, show us your biceps, Dean. Yo, dude, you're sounding like that guy from earlier. Calm down. Thank you for the $5. As well as Serena, thank you for the $3 on Venmo. Ariana, thank you for the 2. And Morgan, thank you so much for the $15 on Venmo. Morgan with 15 bucks says, hey, Dean, keep telling the truth. The right doesn't want to hear it. Thank you so much, Morgan. As well as Cora, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. Cora with the 20 bucks says, here's 20 bucks towards the Buffing Dean Up Fund. You know, it's actually an active work in progress. I'm going to the gym every day. And then one last one here. Lola, thank you so much for the $30 on PayPal, who says, so are you going to be going to the protest in DC? I'm tentatively planning on it. I will most likely be at the No King's Day 2.0 protest, literally in front of the White House, which is fucking awesome. Thank you for the $30, Lola. Let's get 300 Lola W's, as well as Melissa, thank you for the 5, and Michelle, thank you for the 10. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much. Go ahead and take it away, man. Why the hell do you support Trump?
You know, I just think his ability to network and to have camaraderie between big leaders is key, and no other president has been able to do that at this level, especially with who he's doing it with.
I mean, who's he doing it with? And we haven't seen any other president be able to do it with.
Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin.
Okay, we'll see. Point number 1, the reason why people like Kim Jong-un and Vladimir Putin have a grown affinity for Trump that they maybe haven't had for other presidents is A, because he's more like them, he's an authoritarian, and B, it's because Donald Trump has literally let them walk all over him. Of course, Putin is going to be walking into a sit down with Trump with a smile on his face, knowing that Putin's going to leave that meeting with no achieved ceasefire, and then Donald Trump is going to turn a blind eye. You know what I mean?
You don't think that's effective though? His relationships?
Well, I mean, no, it's not that I don't think it's effective. It's that I know it's ineffective. Since the beginning of Donald Trump's second administration, the Kremlin has dropped the most bombs they have since their invasion of Ukraine in 2022 on Ukraine in the last 9 months. All right, 40 minutes into the stream, 3rd Trump supporter down the drain. He left too. Moving on to the next guest. Holy dude. Wow, man. I really hope that this stream is changing some of the minds of y'all out there. I really hope that this stream is driving the potential independents that are watching from home towards the left. Because this is crazy. 40 minutes into the stream, 3 Trump supporters have now ran away, okay? If this doesn't prove to you that MAGA is not a political movement founded on reason, fact, and logic, but rather emotion, because I could just so successfully prove it in like literally like 3 sentences, come on, guys. It's obvious at this point. Drop the act, reject Trump, embrace liberalism. It's what's the best not only for critical thought, rhyme, reason, but also for the future of your family, yourself, and this country. What's up, Tyler? Do you support Trump?
I love you, Dean.
I appreciate you for that love, Tyler. Fortunately, I got to kick you because we are just looking for Trump supporters. Down the fucking drain he went. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go. Momo, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Momo, I'm actually not going to be reading out your message because I'm not going to embolden the chat, but thank you nonetheless. What's going on, Jason? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Are you driving?
No, I am not.
Awesome. Could you
I am
disconnect?
sitting in a piece of equipment, but I'm not driving. I swear to God.
You're good. Could you disconnect me from like the car's Bluetooth so I could hear you through your
From
phone?
my
mic?
AirPods. Hold on.
Okay, yeah, awesome, man. While you're doing that, Tyler, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Thank you for the love, Tyler. Show some love to Tyler down below in that chat. As well as Nate. Oh my God, dude. Thank you so much for the $100 over on Venmo. Nate with $100 says more good pharmacist vibes. I support Tylenol. Dude, W pharmacist Nate down below in that chat. Thank you for the $100, bro. That is so fucking kind of you. Thank you, Nate. As well as another big one here, Peter. Thank you so much for the $100 as well. What the fuck is going on today? Peter with $100 says for being a buff MAGA destroyer. I'm not buff quite yet, but I appreciate you and Nate so much for your generosity. Seriously, y'all, I do not deserve it. That is so much goddamn money. Show some love to Nate and Peter down below in that comment section. Thank you both so much for the $100. While we're hopping into this next debate, seriously, all the love in the world to both of you. You guys are awesome. Go ahead and take it away, Jason. Why the hell do you support Trump?
All right. So I didn't really care to get into a conversation about that. Hear me out. But the video that I seen that you posted that it says, hey, I'm live right now and all of that, you know, you had a problem or said something about it being a problem that burning the flag, right? People shouldn't get in trouble for that because it's protected by the First Amendment, this, that, and everything else, which I understand that. But where's the morals at in that if you don't get upset for something that our country stands for?
Okay, well, first and foremost, now you're attempting to make a moral argument, saying that it's morally wrong to burn the American flag.
If that's fine.
Well,
like I know what you're doing on
Sure,
here.
I could give you an argument against that real quick, because the flag doesn't represent the country necessarily. I think that the flag represents the state of the country and who is running it too, right? And I think right now, burning the American flag can serve as a phenomenal category, type, or exertion of one's patriotic duty to fight for the values of this country and against the tyranny of the Trump administration, and who has been attempting to guide this country in such a terrible, immoral way. And like honestly, if you think that burning the American flag is ultimately immoral and incredibly disrespectful because you think that is something in which goes against the core foundation and the core values of America, well, then why don't you hold that same view about Trump? Like, why don't you call him disrespectful when he's infringing on the core values of this country by violating the First Amendment by saying that it's now illegal to criticize him in the media, violating the 10th Amendment by illegally deploying the National Guard in many of our cities like Memphis or Chicago, violating the 14th Amendment by signing an executive order into law to ban birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented immigrants, or calling for termination of the 22nd Amendment by arguing that he thinks he wants to run for a third term.
I hear you. I do not agree. We should stand behind the Constitution and the amendments that we have and that has been set in place for a really long time. I understand that, but I guess I'm more of on the moral side of everything, considering, you know, you shouldn't take the life of unborn child. I don't believe that. You know, I don't believe in that at all, which I am a Christian, you know, and I'm a follower of Jesus and whatever. And the moral of things is more of, you know, what hurts my feelings about it, not, you know, everything else.
Yeah.
Right now. You on the phone? Please get off the phone when we get done with this. All right, I gotta go.
But he got called by his boss.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're gonna move on to the next guest here. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box. Go ahead and hop in that queue if you happen to be MAGA. We got the Shocker connecting to the stream. God damn it!
God.
I was looking forward to having a conversation with him too. What's up, the Shocker? Do you support Trump?
Yo, I can't hear you, by the way.
You can't hear me? Turn your volume up, buddy.
Okay. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I just recognize what is.
Why the fuck does it keep cutting out?
I just recognize
Dude,
like
what
what
the
his
fuck?
name and his profile picture is about. I'm pretty sure that's Kaya. Do you support Trump?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, do you support
Can you
Trump?
hear me now?
I can. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, how old
Yeah,
are
I
you?
do. I'm 18.
Okay, what year were you born in?
2007.
Okay, all right. And why the hell do you support the worst president of your 18 years of life?
Because I think that with like all the things going on in like the Biden administration, I think that change was needed. I think Trump was the one for change. And by the way, I also wanted to ask you a question like, what do you define MAGA to be?
What the fuck is this?
What is that?
It's one of your posts.
What do you define MAGA to be?
No, what the fuck is this, dude? I gotta show this on stream. 1 second.
No,
TikTok.com.
I don't think we gotta show that. I don't think we gotta show that.
Man739. I'm gonna show. I just
No.
I just
No.
need you to explain this.
I AI generated
No,
it.
listen. I'm just gonna throw it up on screen. I just need you to explain this. Like, what is this? 1 second.
What?
Okay, got it. Copy to clipboard. Go ahead. Go to download, save.
Why are you saving my videos, Dean? Do you want to watch them?
Well, it's a picture of me, so why are you posting pictures of
Do
me?
you love that picture of you?
What is this?
I think it looks great.
What is this?
It's you.
Can you give us a little bit of context here? Can you explain what went through your head when you posted this?
Well, I think that it looks a lot like you. I mean, sometimes you just gotta admit the truth and admit you put makeup on your face. I mean, those blushes look great. And plus those eyelashes, they are also hidden, by the way.
Wow.
So I think that it looks like a banger of a photo, and maybe I should put it all over New York City so everybody knows who the hell you are, Dean.
Well, I mean, looking at the picture, I guess I do look pretty good with a little bit of blush and some
Yeah.
and some mascara. No, 110%.
Yeah, you see the thing on the bottom though?
Yeah, it says Dean's gay.
Yeah, I knew it.
Well, I'm straight, so why are you saying that I'm gay?
Well, why would you put makeup on yourself, Dean? I think that's a little bit gay.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, I honestly wish that men would embrace a little bit of makeup. You know, like a little bit of concealer. Come on. You know, it's like it's self-care. And honestly, here's my hot take. Dude, 50 years from now, okay, screen record this now, play it back at my funeral. I could almost guarantee to you that makeup is going to be normalized for men to a certain extent. 110%. But listen, that's neither here nor there, okay? Because here's my thing. I think that you want me to be gay. Well, it's not that I think that, it's that I know that. Or else you would be AI and makeup on my face saying Dean's a gay. Like, why do you want me to be gay? No, like, I'm serious. I'm asking this in good faith.
Too. I wear makeup too, and plus
that doesn't answer my question. I'm asking this with good faith. Obviously, you want me to be gay, or else you want to be like AI-ing makeup on me and saying Dean's gay and posting that picture. The question is, why
Dean,
do you
you're
want me
getting
to be
destroyed right now. You're getting destroyed, absolutely destroyed by a MAGA psycho. You're getting destroyed. I am the MAGA psycho you've been waiting for. You're getting absolutely crushed. You're getting pushed. You're getting slam dunked. You're slammed. Damned. Canned.
I think you need an anxiety pin there, my friend.
Can you get me one?
Sorry, that'd be illegal to buy an anxiety pin for a minor. You're acting
Wait,
like you're 14
so
and a
you
half.
admit it's not an anxiety pen?
It is an anxiety pin.
Wait, so then why can't you get me one?
I don't know. I just wouldn't feel comfortable giving one to a minor. Once again, you're acting like you're 14 and a half. Did you lie about your age?
I'm not. Dude, I'm not.
You're acting like you're 14. Did you lie about your age?
I'm not, dude.
Do I need to kick you for being a fetus?
No, I'm not, dude.
Okay. All right, listen. Your weird emotional outbursts and like super weird posts aside, why do you support Trump?
Well, I think.
Oh wait,
I think
actually no. Before we move on, okay, because you're saying
Wait, dude. Why do you?
You're
wait,
saying
you didn't answer.
you're saying if man wear makeup, then man gay. So Donald Trump like actually does wear makeup. Is Donald Trump like our first like openly gay president?
Yeah, and I support him for being gay. Honestly,
I mean, do you think that Donald Trump is our first openly gay president?
I mean, I think there was a president way back that was gay, but like I can't remember who.
Carissa, thank you for the galaxy.
He was like closeted or something.
I said openly gay. Right?
It wasn't Trump.
Statistics would tell us that we've definitely had right like a non-straight president before, right? Just statistics, right? But that's why I said openly.
Yeah. I don't deny that at all. I also wanted to ask you a question. Where do you define MAGA?
I'm just going to go to kick him and move on to somebody that's a little bit more serious. Let's go to get that next guest loaded up into the box. Everyone just give us a minute. We're going to go to get that next guest, the right guy, loaded up into the box. By the way, listen, all right? I think that Guyliner needs to make a comeback. I'm being for real, okay? You heard me. You did. You heard me.
Hello?
I said it. What's up?
Hello?
Do you support Trump, the right guy?
Yeah.
You do? How old are you?
Hello?
Hey, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
You're 20 years old. What year were you born in?
2004 December.
Yeah, fantastic, bro. Well, let's go ahead and hop into the debate. Before we do, let me thank a handful of people. Akuro, thank you so much for the $10 over in Super Chat. Says, JD Vance wears mascara and eyeliner, but I don't see this guy calling Vance gay. I wear makeup, but this has no correlation to me liking boys. Mr. Skittles, thank you for the $5. I wasn't expecting that. Sorry, I wasn't expecting that. That was good. Thank you for the $5 over on the YouTube Super Chat, Mr. Skittles. As well as Sarah. Thank you for the $5 over on Venmo saying W Dean for the concealer. I appreciate you for that love. MP, thank you so much for the Galaxy over on TikTok. As well as M, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. And Lars, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo as well. Thank you so much, Lars. Lars with a $50 on Venmo says, congratulations on your upcoming events. Thank you for everything and keep it up. Thank you so much, Lars. Yeah, I'm really excited to head out to DC here, do some traveling, have some fun, and hop on CBS. It's going to be a good night. Thank you for the $50. That is so incredibly kind and generous of you. Show some love to Lars, as well as Morgan. Thank you for the $10 on Venmo, who says, I love you, Dean. I love you too. Jocelyn with the $10. Thank you so much for the love. Robert with the 2. Maya with a 1. Appreciate you guys so much for the love. Show some love to all of our donors down below in that comment section, quite frankly. As well as, drumroll please, let's see if we have anybody else here. Yes, we do. Owen, thank you so much for the $15 on PayPal, who says, I had a whole argument with my homie about makeup being used for straight men. Why is it bad now? Dude, Owen, so you've been like consistently arguing that it's never been bad? Good for you, man. I completely agree. As well as Nicole, Jesus Christ. Nicole, thank you so much for this $70 donation on PayPal. All right, we're going to hop into this debate with the right guy, but real quick before we do, I want to see 700 Nicole W's down below in the live stream comment section for the $70 donation on PayPal, who says, love seeing the Trump supporters run, have fun and represent for all of us in DC, but stay safe. I actually think that the protest is going to be super peaceful and super safe. I'm looking forward to it, and I really appreciate you for your love, Nicole. Show some love to Nicole and all of the donors down below in that chat while we pass the mic off to this next guest to tell us why they're MAGA. Take it away.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things I want to touch on, but one thing was I think your claim about like the immigration stuff that Trump's supporting. You said it's wrong, and you said supporting abortion like contradicts, what like the ICE officers do to the babies and the kids.
Well,
I don't think that's fair to blame.
I think that there could be a parallel made between the inhumane treatment of immigrants and even citizens in a lot of cases on behest of ICE agents in the Trump administration, and the inhumane treatment that pro-lifers like to claim is being caused onto fetuses through abortions.
Right, but I want to ask you something. Why is it fair to put the blame on the ICE officers and Trump? Because I want to ask you this: if you work
because they're the
and
ones doing
you
it.
earn but if you work and you earn yourself a house, right? And there's homeless people outside, and regardless of their situations, regardless of what made them homeless, I don't think that makes it your responsibility to let them in your house.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, and I don't think that, your private property, your house, is going to be equivalent to the country.
But why is that?
Yeah, for sure. I'll just give you a hypothetical. Do you think that like the country has a responsibility to allow its citizens free travel in and out of the country?
I mean, like, should the country give them the right to do that?
Yeah. Do you think that a responsibility of the United States of America is to allow citizens to have free travel in and out of the country?
I think so, yeah. I
Okay.
believe so.
And because you think that your own house is equivalent to the country, does this mean that you therefore also think that you have an obligation and more so a responsibility to allow all American citizens to go in and out of your own house as they please?
No, but I think the
Oh,
people in
oh,
my
so
house.
your own house isn't equivalent to the country. I agree.
Okay, well, so let me put it this way. Me and the other people in my house would represent the citizens of America. So I think me and the other people in my house should have the right to leave and exit my house when they choose. It doesn't mean everyone in America should. Like I told you, I don't agree with like other people in America, for example, homeless people entering my house, that'd be like immigrants entering the country.
Okay, well, I don't think so because your house is your private property. The country is not your private property.
I I think I think in this case the country would be the private property of the citizens.
Okay, so you think that like the country is a private property of the citizens. So does this mean that you
Yeah.
think that like for instance, like homeless individuals should be able to set up encampments literally wherever they want in public because it's their private property?
No.
Oh wait, but why can't they do whatever they want with their own private property?
I mean, again, it's like I don't think homeless people, like regardless of, what put them in that situation, that doesn't give them the right
Well,
to go
actually, it
set up
does. It actually does because it's their
in
private
somewhere.
property.
I mean, okay, are those homeless people illegal or citizens of the US?
They're citizens.
Okay, no, I mean, okay, even if they're citizens, I don't think that gives them the right. I think they should,
Okay, so
go
so,
find
so
a legal
therefore,
place to
if
stay.
you don't think that they have the right to do what they want with like American soil, then you don't think that said American soil is their private property. Because obviously, if it was their private property, then they would have the right to do whatever they want with it, which would imply that the country, under your view, is not the private property of the citizens.
I don't think you're understanding my argument. I mean, I might
I
not
do
be
understand your
understanding
argument.
yours.
Did you say yes or no? Did you say that the country is the private property of the citizens?
Look, I'm making the
Listen,
analogy
I don't want
of
to look. I want an answer. Did you say that the country is the private properties of the is the private property of the citizens?
yeah, I mean, like the same way that a house would be the private property of, you
Exactly.
and your family.
Should you be able to sleep wherever you want in your house?
Yeah.
So therefore, if the country was a private property of the citizens in the same way your house is the private property of yourself, then homeless Americans should be able to sleep wherever they want in the country and set up encampments as they choose. But you said they don't have the right to do that, therefore you think that these two things are non-equivalent to one another, which I agree with, by the way. I agree with that concept of the country not being equivalent to you and your house, right? And in fact, I
Right.
think that this is an incredibly fallacious and intuitionally loaded argument that you and many other, like MAGA supporters, have made in modern American history by attempting to equate your house and your control of who comes in and out of your house to the country and our control of who comes in and out of the country. Now, if you want to argue that we should deport undocumented immigrants, feel free to do so. But I'm just simply telling you that your argument that you're purporting right now of making some equivalence between the control that you have over your house and the control that you want to have over the country is bad.
Yeah, I mean, okay, obviously a country is not the exact same as a house. I mean, it's
Exactly my
not
point. So the two things are not
it's
equivalent.
not
You're
it's
comparing
not
apples and oranges.
they're not equivalent, but you can use the
Okay.
same logic
Okay, well,
to
actually,
prove why.
if they're not equivalent, then they couldn't serve as an analogy to one another.
Yeah, you can. I mean, isn't
No,
that how
they
an
have to be.
analogy works?
No, analogies don't work in the sense of two things in which are not logically equivalent to one another. An analogy would work in the sense of attempting to find something that is logically equivalent, not something
Okay,
that
so
isn't
so so
logically
give me an
equivalent.
analogy. Give me an analogy where the two things are equivalent.
Yeah, okay, for sure. Like, imagine that we're debating abortion. You tell me that you think abortion's wrong because you think it's wrong to kill a human that's alive. A logically equivalent analogy would be me to asking you if you therefore also think that it's wrong to pull the plug on a brain dead patient in the hospital because they are also merely human and alive, right? That would be an example of a logically equivalent analogy. That would serve a conceptual purpose of attempting to refute a given position.
So what's equivalent in that analogy?
The equivalence and the analogy would be the reasons why you think it's wrong to kill the fetus are the fact that the fetus is both human and alive, And those two same identity characteristics would be also true of the brain dead patient. That brain dead patient would also be human and alive.
Okay. All right. No, I understand what you're saying, but I want to know why you think it's America's responsibility to take in these immigrants and,
Like offer them amnesties? Yeah, sure. It's because I think
yeah.
that like all states have an obligation to draft and enforce policy that makes the state as a whole better off, and I think that mass amnesty makes the state as a whole better off.
You think it makes the state better.
Yeah, and I actually think that mass deportation makes the state worse.
But if a lot of these immigrants are coming into the country and committing crimes and doing horrible things,
Yeah.
how's that making it better?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that undocumented immigrants that commit horrible crimes should either be thrown in jail or deported. And when we offer,
Right.
like, for instance, 99.9% of undocumented immigrants that aren't committing any crimes in the country a pathway to mass amnesty or citizenship, well, then all of a sudden the scope of the deportation operation is significantly smaller, meaning it's easier, A, to identify the undocumented immigrants that are committing violent crimes, and B, easier to, like, detain, arrest, imprison, or deport them. Right? But
So
also,
you're
the fact
saying,
of the matter is, undocumented immigrants are 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes, 3 times less likely to commit property crimes, and 3.5 times less likely to commit petty crimes when compared to citizens. Meanwhile, your president, Mr. Trump, actually has committed a violent crime, held liable for the rape of V. Jean Carroll, actually has committed property crimes, lied about the valuation of some of his properties when attempting to get loans from banks, which led to a civil court, forcing him to pay out $400 million in the state of New York. And I'm sure he's committed petty crimes too, but most of the crimes that he's committed that I'm aware of are much more than petty.
so he was found guilty for those?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you support him as president.
Yeah, I do.
Right? And then, by the way, just one last thing here. You're saying that we need to really bring the fist down on undocumented immigrants that are committing violent
Yeah, I
crimes.
think we do.
Right? Then why don't you think that we need to bring the fist down hard on citizens that are committing violent crimes? Like DJ Rodriguez, who literally tried to kill Officer Fanone on the steps of the Capitol on January 6th, who was then sentenced to 12 years in jail for doing so. But then 4 years into his term, January 21st, 2025, first day of Donald Trump's second term, Donald Trump extended him a full and complete presidential pardon, letting him out of jail, and even labeled him as a patriot.
I absolutely think we do. I mean, I think all criminals should be, put in prison. But why are we letting more people come into the country who are just going to commit more crimes? It's just going to make the country worse.
Okay.
You have to deal with more crimes.
Well, now you're actually attempting to shift the topic of conversation away from the merits of deportation compared to the merits of amnesty to what should we do with border policy. So I'll either ask you to refute the argument that I gave you in support of amnesty. I'd ask you to give an argument in support of mass deportation, or I'd ask you to address the hypocrisy of Trump saying that we need to impose law and order while then actively being a 34-count felon adjudicated rapist himself and actively pardoning violent offenders that committed crimes that he had an affinity for, such as those committed on the steps of the Capitol on January 6th.
I mean, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
All right. So take a look at Europe. Before they allowed so many immigrants from, let's say, North Africa or the Middle East, was it a more violent place back then, or is it more violent now?
Can you name the immigration policy of one country in Europe?
Immigration policy?
Yeah. Give me one specific immigration bill or piece of immigration legislation from any country in Europe.
I'm not sure.
Exactly. Right. So maybe we should talk about something that we're both more familiar with, and we should normalize, as Joanna said on my live yesterday, not talking about things that you're just simply not acquainted with and not educated on. Right.
No,
Let's stick
but
to
I'm not
America.
talking about the immigration. I'm not talking about the bills. I'm asking, do you think it's a more violent place now, or
So
was it more violent back then?
like I said, I think that we should stick on America. I don't think that either you nor me have a sufficient understanding of immigration in Europe. If I'm going to be honest.
Okay, but I feel like,
We
I mean,
don't know the
immigration in
legislation.
Europe.
We don't know like immigration that has occurred. We're not like familiar with like the relevant facts to even have a conversation about Europe. So let's talk about the relevant facts to have a conversation about America and the leadership of Trump. This is now your third pivot in the last 3 minutes. Please stop pivoting.
Okay, sure, but I mean, what's the difference between immigration there and immigration here?
Well, it seems like you're implying that with more immigration, we have a higher level of violent crime. However, in America, as demonstrated by PNAS, undocumented immigrants actually bring down crime rates. And you like to boast about the massive insurgence of mass immigration into America under the Biden-Harris administration. But even at the end of the Biden-Harris administration, all big cities in this country had 30-year record low levels of crime. So, I mean, that's going to be one difference between the reality of crime rates in this country as associated with immigrants and the attempted version of reality that you're trying to fearmonger us into believing about Europe.
Okay, so is it American natives that are committing more crimes than these immigrants?
When you say American native, are you talking about like Native Americans, like indigenous Americans?
I'm talking about like people who founded America,
Oh,
like more white people.
Okay, so not the American natives. Okay, got it.
Right.
You got
Right.
it.
Not
So
the
yes,
not the
so yes,
Indians.
so American citizens are significantly more likely to commit crimes when compared to undocumented immigrants.
So would you say white people are more likely to commit crimes?
I don't understand what race has to do with any of this.
Well, I
But
mean, I'm
but
asking
yeah,
about the.
but yeah, I'd assume so, right? But I'm giving you a stat on the basis of American citizens. But yes,
Okay, but I mean, but why do you assume that? I feel like
why I assume
the
that? Because undocumented immigrants are 2.5 times less likely to commit crimes when compared to all American citizens. White Americans account for a majority of American citizens. Therefore, I would believe that they'd account for a significant portion of said statistic, meaning that we could reason like a sufficiently fair inductive argument to reason our way to the conclusion that yes, white American citizens are more likely to commit crimes on American soil when compared to undocumented immigrants, just because all American citizens on average are too. You know what I mean? But
okay.
I don't
Can you tell me
understand
where
why
you
you're
found
bringing
that
up.
statistic?
Yeah, I already gave you the source. It's PNAS. I don't understand what
Right.
race has to do with our conversation, though. The fact of the matter is,
Well,
undocumented immigrants are significantly less likely to commit crimes on American on American soil compared compared to citizens.
okay. Well, okay. I just want to say I think there's a very obvious. I think there's a very obvious race thing when it comes to violent crimes, and I think the undocumented immigrants happen to be a lot of the time the same race.
You support a violent criminal that's white as president. I don't really know if you're
He's
gonna
violent.
have if you're gonna have a leg to stand on here attempting to make a racist argument out of violent crime in America when you actively support a violent criminal that's white as president.
Okay, what
Shelby, thank
violent
you for the
crime?
glowing. Thank you for the thank you for the glowing jellyfish, Shelby. I appreciate you for the love. Yeah, sure. He raped Eugene Carroll.
Is that murder?
It's rape.
Right. That I mean, that's a lot of what these immigrants do, and I think statistically, Donald Trump's people
Wait, so
versus
you asked me what is like one violent crime that the president has committed. I said grape, and then you completely ignore the fact that Donald Trump is a rapist, and then you say that's what a lot of these immigrants do, even though undocumented
Right.
immigrants, as I already pointed out, are 2.5 times less likely to do that than the average American citizen. You are so fucking lost, bro. You support a rapist. Dude, oh my God. I'm so sorry. The cognitive dissonance in this young man's mind, folks. So he is bought into the propaganda. He is dead set on painting this fear-mongering picture that dependent on your race, dependent on your citizenship, and dependent on your ethnicity, you are going to be more violent. You are escaping prisons and mental asylums like Donald Trump posited, and you are going to come into this country and commit heinous acts of atrocity, right? And then I bring up the fact that, hey, the president you support is a violent criminal. He was held civilly liable by a court for the rape of Eugene Carroll. And then I point that out and I'm like, hey, your president's a rapist. And then he's like, hey, wait, rape? That's what the immigrants do. Like completely ignoring the data and statistics that I've already given you from PNAS to demonstrate that undocumented immigrants are less likely to do so than citizens, and completely ignoring that the reason rape came up in the conversation is because that's something a court found Trump guilty of.
I mean, is he in support for more rape?
What?
Is he supporting more rape?
Well, I mean, arguably by calling it an act of hostility to vote against the release of the Epstein files in Congress. Maybe so.
He's advocating for more rape.
Well, I mean, I think when you actively protect rapists, that's kind of the social repercussion that it has, alongside the normalization of empowering rapists to possess the most powerful positions of power available to any human on earth, such as the presidency of the United States of America. You know, it's kind of reversing the social incentives to not grape people, right? There's a lot of really bad actors that want to grape people that won't engage in that action because of the social repercussions and consequences of being locked up, having your opportunity limited, and being socially ostracized for the rest of your life. However, now, right, Donald Trump raped a woman. Not only did he not go to jail, not only is he not facing the social repercussions, however, he's actively been empowered into the most powerful position available to any human. As I already pointed out, that position being the presidency. All of a sudden, it normalizes what he did, and it also normalizes victim blaming and not just upholding, but championing the rapist.
Okay, I
Nothing
understand
more.
your
Thank you
argument.
so much for the pumpkin patch. I appreciate you for that love. As well as Arrow. Thank you so much for the $10 over on Super Chat. I appreciate you for that love, Arrow. Show some love to Arrow. And Felly Girl, thank you for the $7 Canadian. And AMF, thank you for the $50 Canadian as well over on Super Chat. I appreciate you for that love. I just read off your message there. It's really funny. AMF says you give us so much hope for the younger generations. Thank you for what you're doing to educate and enlighten others. Thank you so much for the love, AMF. Let's get 500 AMFWs for her as well as her husband down below in that chat. You guys are awesome. As well as Olivia, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo, saying, love watching you debate. You're very educated and happy to support you. Thank you so much. Jack, thank you for the $4 on Venmo for oysters in DC. Jack, dude, oh my God, I'm dropping that one a big like. I love oysters. How did you know? As well as Karen, thank you for the $25 on Venmo, who says, hey, I'm Karen, but I'm a good Karen. Keep fighting the good fight, Dean. Thank you so much, Karen. Let's get 250 Karen W's. And then Vanessa, thank you for the $15 over on Venmo. I'm happy you're no longer MAGA. And Samantha, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo for coffee for your girl, for always supporting you. Well, dude, Samantha, you are awesome. Thank you so much. As well as McKinney, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Sarah with the $5. And John with the $6 and the 60 cents. As well as Vanessa, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. And Christina with the $5, who says, please be safe in DC. And Momo, I'm not going to read that off, but thank you for the $5. And that's all for now. I appreciate you guys for the love. Go ahead.
Okay,
So
Dean,
why do you support Donald Trump, even though he's literally a rapist?
well, okay, look, I understand you presented me with the statistics, but I still believe, with all the things I've seen from immigration happening around the world, I think America's experiencing the same problems. I don't really believe that these illegal immigrants are so peaceful like you claim.
Okay.
And I mean,
So then
I get, I get,
what is your evidence against the fact that they're significantly less likely to commit violent crimes? Because it kind of just sounds like you're denying reality, bud.
I don't think I'm denying reality. I mean, I've witnessed it a lot. I think people who support illegal immigration, like liberals,
So you're just saying that you
and
witnessed an undocumented immigrant committing a violent crime, therefore undocumented immigrants are more likely to do so?
I witnessed it. I've seen people, of the same background as these undocumented immigrants. I think the most peaceful people are definitely the people who, founded and created America, or white people. So
Oh my God.
why is
Holy
why is
shit.
that so laughable?
No, it's incredibly laughable because of just like how incredibly wrong it is. Like, I don't know. It's like, what, like a fucking cope, dude. Like, I'm so sorry that for whatever reason, you hate yourself so much to the extent where you got to look at your skin, recognize it's white, then attempt to construct an argument to think that you're more valuable and peaceful, quote unquote, than other individuals. I mean, it's just like totally like white supremacist rhetoric. It's funny because you said the most peaceful individuals are specifically the individuals that founded America. You understand the white people that colonized America engaged in the genocide of close or over 100 million indigenous Americans, right? They killed so many indigenous Americans that the CO2
100 million?
levels on planet Earth went down. There was a noticeable drop of the CO2 levels on planet Earth following the genocide of indigenous Americans that's committed by the white colonizers, that the CO2 levels on Earth went down.
Okay, are they doing that still?
Are they doing that still? Oh my God. Oh, guys. No, listen, white
I mean, okay,
people.
if
White people, they're so peaceful, man. White people are so peaceful. I understand that they genocided 100 million indigenous Americans in the colonization of North America. Well, they killed them all, so they're not killing anymore. Meaning that, well, they're peaceful now. They're peaceful now. Oh God, dude.
But,
I just
Dean, I
can't
just want to
believe
say
this shit.
our generation.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
All right, I understand your argument.
I want you to go ahead and attempt to engage in a reasonable line of thought process here and demonstrate to me and everybody else watching that you're right and I'm wrong by providing us with sufficient evidence to demonstrate that you're right and I'm wrong. Because quite frankly, I hate to drop a truth nuke on you. I was able to give you a reputable source that has been tracking crime rates in this country since the 19th century that has continually and perpetually came to the same conclusion every single year, which is the fact that undocumented immigrants are significantly less likely to commit crimes on American soil when compared to American citizens. I'm sorry if you can't come to terms with this fact because you are racist and you want to think that white people are better. But I'm so sorry, buddy. Reality disagrees. Reality disagrees, my friend. You know, I actually made the same point against somebody a lot like you at CMU. We had white supremacist Jared Taylor speak. So I actually went to campus. I sat down. I listened to all of the terrible racist shit that he had to spew. He was bringing up the same points. White people are more peaceful. Non-white people aren't. I bring up the stat about undocumented immigrants. And you know what he did? He ripped the mic out of my hand, moved on, didn't answer, and then attempted to respond to somebody else's question instead. All right? And it's because you don't have a response to that fact. Because there is none.
Well, I do have a response. Can I talk?
Yeah, what's the response to that fact, buddy?
All right. Well, I mean, if you check the FBI statistics on their website, you can see that black people are significantly more likely to commit murder against their own race and other races, including white people.
Okay. All right. And
White men are
somehow,
definitely on the lower spectrum of that.
and
Of that.
somehow, in a conversation about white Americans and undocumented immigrants, black people get brought up. Jesus Christ. Oh, God. Yeah. So, guess what? FBI crime stats do tell you that black Americans are significantly more likely to be arrested for crimes, including violent crime. You know what they also tell you? That black Americans are significantly more likely to be exonerated for the arrest of any crimes, disproportionately so violent crimes. Black people account for 14% of the population and 55% of the rest, sure, but they also account for 83% of the exonerations of violent crime in this country.
I mean,
Oh.
it doesn't mean that they don't commit the majority of the violent crimes, though. Like, sure, a lot of them are falsely accused.
Actually,
But what?
it kind of does. Actually, it kind of does. When you account for exonerations, that significantly diminishes. Yeah.
I don't think it takes away from the violent crimes that they do commit.
So, do you think that black individuals are just more likely to commit violent crimes for like what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Well, I mean,
I do.
I wasn't done speaking. We've already disputed that. And the reason being, so are you like a race realist?
I don't know.
You don't know if you're not a race realist. So you don't know if like
notice patterns,
you don't know if like if you don't know of like the pattern because you apparently notice patterns. You don't know of like the pattern of peer-reviewed scientific research, literally stemming from the 17th century, demonstrating that black individuals possess like no relevant biological distinction from white individuals that make them predisposed to commit violent crime or true. It's funny because that's a pattern. You notice patterns, okay? But apparently you don't notice the pattern of scientific research in which demonstrates that your beliefs here are completely bigoted, racist, and wrong. Don't notice that pattern.
Also, Dean, the thing that he doesn't actually do is update his resume. The talking point that he's speaking to with Table 43 is from 2019, but the FBI has updated their data, and guess who no longer leads
Dude,
in
you are
violent crime?
not cooking, dude. Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Guess who no longer leads in violent crime? Black men. They don't. You know who now leads in violent crimes? White men.
Specifically,
literally, it's on
right.
Literally, it's on the FBI website.
That's really
right now.
believable.
You can
That's
pull the
really
actual
believable,
data.
right? Because that's so true, right? Hold on, Dean. Let me ask you a question. Did you say that
You're talking to Santana. So I just want to clarify. So Santana gives you a source from the FBI crime stats for arrests for violent crime in this country, in which demonstrates that a majority of arrests for violent crimes are for white men, and then you tell us that that's fake, it's not true, meaning that you're indicating the source there is unreliable. Okay, well, if FBI arrest statistics are unreliable, then why did you try to quote them in attempting to construct the racist argument that black individuals are significantly more likely to commit violent crimes?
Here's the kicker, Dean. It's the same data he's using, except it's updated.
Right.
so? Mine is unreliable because it came from a few years ago.
Well,
Yours is unreliable
an
because
English
it's
teacher would-
outdated.
Yeah, an English teacher would tell you yes, actually.
Okay, maybe
If there's new data making a new point, why wouldn't you actually check with the new data instead of using old data?
All right, dude. Dean, I have a question for you.
No, respond to Santana.
Oh, he doesn't want to, Dean. We know why.
Oh, we
He
do
doesn't
know
want
why.
to talk to
Yeah,
you.
we do know, we do know why.
We know why.
Okay, I guess white
These
men are so much
motherfuckers.
more violent because if you go outside, that's definitely what you see, right? You just see white men so violent all the time.
So
And
wait,
so uncivilized.
are we supposed to believe Data or your lying ass eyes? Because no one
My
cares
lying
about what
ass
you see.
eyes. It's not. I
We
mean, it's
believe
not
in the
just my.
data.
It's
Well,
not just my
it's
lying
actually
ass
funny.
eyes.
It's actually funny because my buddy Parker did go outside about a month ago.
Oh,
3
yeah.
days. A month and 3 days ago, my best friend Parker did go outside and he saw a white man that was so violent he shot a gun and blew the jugular of another man open and killed him on the spot, less than 40 feet away from him. So if we want to talk about our empirical, anecdotal experiences, if we want to talk
Which
about
party?
our empirical, anecdotal experiences here, yeah. I mean, Parker would tell you he went outside not too long ago and saw a very violent white man blow somebody's jugular wide open in front of a crowd of like 400 people.
Sure
No,
thing.
wait,
And
but
who
Dean,
was he? Who was he in support of?
see
Was
the
he in
most
support of other
recent?
whites or blacks?
Did you see the most recent video that Parker posted? Him just interviewing like a white Trump supporter, a guy, and he got violent with Parker. Took his shirt off and tried to fight him. Did you see that? Just for him interviewing him.
Hold on, Santana. Can I ask you a question?
But listen, the point of this dialogue is supposed to be the fact that statistics are going to be the standard of evidence that we want to point towards when attempting to make any rational academic claim about like trends in society. Okay, right? Your own anecdotal experiences, which aren't only right fueled by your own bias, but also would only account for like an incredibly small portion of the populace, are significantly unreliable when attempting to learn more information about society as a whole, right? So when you attempt to respond to like FBI arrest statistics, which just simply demonstrates how many arrests were made in a particular year, and out of those arrests, what was the demographic makeup, and you are attempting to refute them by saying, well, you went outside one time and saw this one thing, it just really like demonstrates you to be the anti-intellectual bigot that you are. So how about you drop, right, the 30 IQ, you drop the anti-intellectualism, and you attempt to wake up and have a conversation with two people that are frying your ass with the use of very basic facts.
Okay, Dean, can I just debate you? I mean, why is Santana up here?
Why don't you want to talk to Santana?
I mean, I can talk to him, but I feel like
answer the question direct, and I'll go.
Are you scared? Are you scared of getting your shit fried by a black man? Are you that fucking racist?
I guess so. But what's the question you want me to answer?
Wait, Santana, do you have mod powers?
Not on this account, and I don't have my other device on me.
One second. Let me do something real quick. How do I give them to you? God damn it. Would you type in chat real quick?
Yeah, I got you.
I'll find it. Let me know when you say something in chat.
I'm dropping here.
Santana, I want to let you know you clocked my tea, bro.
1 second. Let me know when. Let me know. Did you type anything in chat?
Yeah. I've been typing here.
Okay, fuck. Okay, I gotta look for it. There's so many people in here. God damn it. All right, fuck.
It's all good. I'm about to go grab my other device, and I can swipe over from my main.
Yeah, whatever. I was just gonna mod you, then have you kick him. I'll just do it myself. Whatever. Unfortunately, I tried.
That was even better.
Listen, Santana, I appreciate you for popping up. I know that you said you had to go,
Absolutely.
but if you have any time today, feel free to come back up if you want to co-host at any point.
All right, I appreciate you, bro.
All right, you take care, man.
Yep.
All right, we're going to move on to the next Trump supporter. Go ahead and hop in that queue for me if you happen to support Trump as president. We're going to get that next guest loaded up in here, folks. Hop in that queue, as I already said. All right, we're going to go ahead and get that next guest up here right now. We got Stony connecting to the live, and while we get Stony loaded up, who will hopefully be the next Trump supporter, Tiffany, thank you so much for the $100 over on YouTube Super Chat. Holy shit, Tiffany. Tiffany with $100 says, keep up the good work. Thank you so much for your kindness. All the love in the world to you. That is seriously like fucking insane. Let's get 1,000 Tiffany W's down below for the $100 super chat. And if you're watching and you want to support me, you can find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree and my bio on TikTok, as well as in the pinned message of that YouTube stream. I only get 33% of the proceeds on TikTok and 60 to 50% of the proceeds on YouTube on super chat. So if you want to be able to support me in a way where I get 100% of the proceeds, do so on Venmo and PayPal, once again found in the bio on TikTok and pinned message on the YouTube stream. But anyway, Stoney, welcome in. Do you support Trump? Stoney, I'm going to give you around 5 seconds here.
Nah, man, my bad, bro. My bad.
No worries, bro. You MAGA?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I am.
Awesome, man. Yeah, man.
But,
Go ahead and take it away. Give us a reason why.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I'm no disrespect to the other dude, but he was kind of he was a little radical. I'm not gonna lie. I'm more of a.
Oh, it's like the last guy on this live, like the last Trump supporter?
Yeah,
Yeah, feel free to say it, with disrespect, too.
I could see what he's saying, but not really. I feel like he's kind of making, people that voted for Trump, conservatives, or even, in the middle, kind of making it seem bad. I kind of felt like, dude, can you just stop talking? That's why I was just like, can you skip that dude or something?
Well, see, the thing is, I'll agree with you in the sense that he was radical, but I'll say it with disrespect, and I won't see what he's saying. But
nah, yeah, I don't want to disrespect nobody, man. I'm not a disrespectful person like that. But
tell us why you support Trump.
I just honestly thought that he was a better candidate than Kamala Harris or Joe Biden.
Wait, I actually have a question for you. Is it okay if I interrupt you?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir. Go.
I'm so terrible. I'm so terrible at this. So what I'll do, just real quick, is I'll think of something that I really want to ask a guest as a guest is speaking, and then I'll interrupt them to ask it. I need to stop doing that. But anyways, about that last guest, do you think that he would have been even more radical if he were to come up here and say that Obama shouldn't have been president because he was born in Africa? Even though he was born in Hawaii with his birth certificate. And imagine if I responded to him saying that, no, Obama was born in Africa, by saying, well, he has a birth certificate out of Hawaii. Then he called the birth certificate fake. Obviously saying that Obama was born in Africa because he's black. Do you think that would have made him more radical?
I would say so. I would say so. I think it makes him look a little. I feel like when we're in these conversations, you have to talk. You have to talk very right. You can't. It's nothing's ever personal. You have your own opinion. I have my own. It's nothing. It's nothing that we should be, getting heated about. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own opinion.
So you agree that would have made him more radical and a worse representation of the right?
I don't agree. I think so, but I don't agree.
Okay, but check this out. So now that you've agreed that if he were to say Obama was born in Africa, obviously because he's black, that would have made him more radical and a worse representation of the right. Did you know that's actually something Donald Trump said for 4 years straight?
Look, I don't agree with everything Donald Trump says. I don't agree with everything Donald Trump does. I really don't.
Well, you're just saying that now Donald Trump is more radical than that last guest, who you said was a terrible representation of the right.
And I know, but look, I'm trying to have a decent conversation. Don't try to I got you, okay? I just started talking, okay? So all I'm trying to say is, as far as Obama, I think that Obama was a great representation. I don't agree with his politics and all that stuff that he did. There was a lot of things he did good, and there's things that I don't agree with. But I think that as far as how a president should be, I think that Obama was the ideal. I'm not going to lie. I think that he was very personable. I think that he was a good. I just think he was just a good president as far as hey, he can talk, he has charisma, he knows what to say, he just all that. You know what I'm saying? I really do.
I agree with what you're saying.
I really do.
I don't think it serves a conceptual relevance in our conversation because
I know, but I
agree with what you're saying. So how about let's just start at the top. Why do you support Trump as president?
Just certain policies as far as if we go back to immigration, like the last guest was saying, I feel like me and him differ on different things, because I feel like as far as illegal immigrants are concerned, they should be deported, and they should, if they're doing criminal things, they should be taken back. They should be prosecuted. As far as I've seen illegal immigrants that have been here for 20 years. They've done nothing wrong. They've been here for 20, let's just say 20 years, example. Paying taxes, being good American citizens, contributing to American society, like we should give them amnesty. We should do certain things for those individuals that that we're not doing right now. Why would you deport somebody who's been here for 20 years and they're kind of just like they've been doing everything good, they've been doing everything right? Why would you do that? Why would you take a family and spread them apart? No, they've been doing good. They haven't done anything. They haven't done anything wrong. They don't have no criminal record. They've been doing what they need to do. They've been working. They have a family, all this stuff. Give them amnesty. As far as illegal, violent immigrants, then of course, just like you said, anybody, American citizen, anything, they need to be tried and persecuted.
Hey, Stoney.
American citizen, illegal immigrant, anybody.
Hey, Stoney.
Anybody deserve that. Yes, sir.
So the view you just described is even further left than the Democratic Party. You're not a Trump supporter.
Well, I said that I voted for Trump.
Well, nothing.
I voted for Trump, and I just felt
nothing about what you just said was MAGA. Okay, let me describe this to you. So we're going to start off with the immigration policy of the right, then we're going to go to the immigration policy of the left, and then we're going to go to the immigration policy of the progressive left. Okay? Right? We're going to ignore like socialist and communist immigration policy. We're going to stop at like progressive liberal. Okay? For the intents and purposes of this demonstration. Right now, the immigration policy of the right, or MAGA, is to identify every single undocumented immigrant in America and deport them. It doesn't matter if you have a violent crime on your record. It doesn't matter if you've been here for 30 years, had children, and started a business peacefully. They want to deport every single undocumented immigrant in America. Okay, moving further left to the Democratic Party, what we saw under Biden-Harris was the disproportionate deportation of only undocumented immigrants with prior violent offenses. Right? They accounted for like 90% of their deportations. Sure, there are some without the prior violent offenses, but a lot of them had them. Okay? And they supported laying the groundwork for amnesty. Biden tried to get a half-ass amnesty bill passed. Obama set up the work permits for undocumented immigrants. Okay? So they're getting there. Okay? Then the immigration policy of the progressive left is amnesty for all undocumented immigrants outside of those with prior violent offenses and pretty insane nonviolent criminal offenses. And then the deportation of arrests of those that do have those, right? So the immigration view that you just described, that you believe in, would fall under the category of progressive left, all right? So the Democratic Party, they're closer to what you want than MAGA. This is like somebody saying that because I'm a socialist, I'm going to vote for Trump, even though technically liberals are closer to socialism than Trump. Okay? This is like saying I'm pro-choice, therefore I'm going to vote for Trump, even though in the election it's Kamala Harris who ran on the pro-choice policy and it's Donald Trump that ran on effective pro-life policy. It's gibberish, Stoney. You're not MAGA. You're a closeted dim. Go ahead and unmute. Click on that profile picture in that bottom right-hand corner and click on the icon of your mic. Oh, God, guys, I don't know if you'll be able to figure out how to unmute. Stoney? I'm going to show you. Your profile picture is going to be down there in the bottom right-hand corner. Click on that. You're not going to see this gifting menu pop up. You're going to see a menu pop up that'll show an icon of a mic. Click the icon of that mic, and then unmute yourself. There you go, Stoney.
Okay, my bad. Did you mute me?
I did.
My bad, man.
Because you have a little bit of like a feedback. So do you understand now how your views on immigration don't align
No.
at all with Trump's?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like there's certain things that he does, and you vote, right? You vote expecting a person to do a certain thing, and then when he doesn't do it, or when they don't do it, it feels like, well, what the hell? And that's how, because I'm from Texas. I'm from South Texas. So I have a lot of friends that are undocumented immigrants, right? And when I look at them, it's like, dude, he's a good person.
So you voted
He doesn't.
you voted expecting Trump to give immigrants amnesty?
I didn't. No, I did. I just didn't think it would be to the extent that he was going to do.
He
Like
told you it was going to be to the extent. He told you he wanted to deport.
No,
every
I know, but
undocumented immigrant.
as far as people, I know, Dean, and I know I might sound dumb, I might sound stupid. I understand that, and I might just be naive. Okay, that I mean, I'm sorry, I might just be naive, but I just didn't think that it would be people that have been here for 20, 30 years that are good citizens that are not doing anything, and I messed up.
Okay, well then
I messed up.
So you don't still support him today, Stoney?
I would say I do in certain things, not in everything.
Okay,
Not in
Stoney,
everything.
You've been up here for 16 minutes now. In the last 16 minutes, I've asked you 3 times to tell us why you still support Trump. You haven't done that yet.
Well, just like I guess what did they say? What did Jocelyn say? Stoney's on cloud 9. Bless his soul. Sorry, Jocelyn. I don't know, man. I was just trying to have a conversation. I guess maybe I'm not answering your questions.
Well, I mean, do you want to try to
I'm
answer?
sorry
Like,
for that.
why do you still support Trump?
I mean, I just feel like I just feel like at the end of the day, the Republican Party is the party that is right. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that they're all right.
You just spent.
No,
10
I
minutes
understand
describing
that,
how
but
they're
there's not-
wrong about immigration. Okay, so
Dean,
what is he
there's
right
not
about?
everything. Dean, there's not everything that you're gonna agree with.
Okay,
your certain
then
party.
what
There's
do,
just
then what
not.
do you
There's
agree
just
with him
not.
on? Then what do you agree with Trump on?
There's certain things.
Like
It's
which
like
certain
I agree.
things?
I agree. Just like I said, I agree with the immigration as far as getting our legals and all that
You
stuff out the
don't.
country.
I thought you just said that's one of the things that you don't agree with him on.
Oh my gosh, oh my God, you know what? I don't know what to tell you because you're gonna keep coming at me in a certain way.
I'm not coming at you, dude.
No, I know, but like
dude, Stoney, I'm not coming at you. I swear to God, I'm not coming at you. I asked
No,
you what
I
you
know,
agree
but
with.
I just
You
feel
said,
like-
no,
I
listen,
feel
just Stoney, listen, don't speak, just listen. Okay, I asked you what you agree with. You said immigration. Then I'm like, what are your thoughts on immigration? And then you're like, dude, undocumented immigrants should be given mass amnesty unless they've committed violent crimes. Then they should be locked up or deported. And then I gave you like a super long explanation on how that's actually the goal of the progressive left. Not even the Democrats are doing that, but the Democrats are significantly closer to doing that compared to the Republicans that are doing the opposite of that by supporting and endorsing the mass deportation of all undocumented immigrants. So this would be a really big issue that you do not agree with the right on whatsoever. This is the equivalent to saying I'm pro-choice, therefore I support Trump. This is the equivalent of saying I'm socialist, therefore I support Trump. This is the equivalent of saying that I think that low-income Americans should have Medicaid regardless if they're working or not, therefore I support Trump. This is not a reason why you agree with Trump.
Well then, gosh damn, well, maybe I'm a fucking Democrat, dude. Golly, well, I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. I was trying to have a conversation, but you keep getting my ass, and I don't know what to tell you. Okay, I don't know what to tell you. I'm trying to talk. Everybody in the comments, I'm reading them, saying I'm confused.
Don't listen to the comments.
Borderline, freaking. I don't know, dude. Okay, I don't know.
Stoney, listen, man. Gotta stop saying that word. It's a bad word. But listen, man. I'm gonna drop you. All right. Listen. If I had like one recommendation for you, Stoney. If I had one big recommendation for you, Stoney, it's just to tune into this stream. Okay. Just watch the stream. Let's see if the stream could help you figure things out. All right. Like honestly, I'm gonna keep it real here. I feel like this stream, right, is a really good place for you to be, Stoney. And if there's other people out there that are like Stoney, that like have certain like moral or political convictions, but like don't really know what to make of them insofar as where they fall in the dichotomy of American politics, left and right. This is a great place for you to spend an hour or two while you're cooking, cleaning, doing chores, working, etc., so on and so forth. But we're gonna go to get that next guest up here. What's up? Do you support Trump? Hello? You got 5 seconds. Are you MAGA? Okay, Gary's not here. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Everyone just do be patient. We got T-Frost7 connecting. While we get T-Frost7 loaded up in here, Mary, thank you for the $5 over at Venmo. Appreciate you for the love. I do not know the specifics about Janet Mill or Susan Collins. I'll have to look into them, but thank you, Mary. As well as Nicholas, thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo. While we're looking for that next Trump supporter, of course, hop in that queue of your MAGA. Nicholas with the $15 says, you are great. By the way, he asked about party, but the independent study the administration did then removed shows right-wing supporters as the most likely to commit gun violence. You're right, it did. As well as Micah, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo a while back when we were talking to that racist guest. Micah just said, dump this guy, he's racist. Hey, that's exactly what we did, Micah. As well as Martha, thank you so much for the $25 over on Venmo 22 minutes ago. Martha says, Miss Martha loves you, Dean. Teaching young minds to love everyone. Keep doing you. Appreciate you for that love, Martha. You are awesome. As well as I'm looking at your profile picture, you look eerily like my mother, like my real mother. You look a lot like her. That's kind of weird. Thank you for the $25, Martha. Show some love to Martha down below in that chat, folks, while we're looking for that next Trump supporter. Seriously, thank you so much for the $25 in support. It means the absolute world. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Hey, vote Zoran Mamdani, mayor of New York City. Fuck Andrew Cuomo. Fuck Eric Adams. Fuck Grapists. Free New York City from Grapists. I don't even know what else to say. I thought you kicked me by now, but like free Palestine, all that. Fuck Israel.
I was waiting for you to say something false to kick you, and it didn't come. We're going to move on to the next guest. Go ahead and hop in that queue if you happen to support Trump. Hop inside of that queue if you happen to be MAGA. We're going to get you up here. Kyra, this also came in when we were debating that super racist guest with Santana. Kyra with the $25 says, who's going to tell this guy that the black African slaves quite literally physically built this country and allowed our economy to boom on their backs of being exploited by the white Americans? Absolutely embarrassing. Thank you for the $25, Kyra, and I wish I would have saw that earlier when we were talking to him. What's up? Do you support Trump? Annabelle's not here, so we're going to kick her and move on to the next guest, guys. Just looking for some Trump supporters. Please respect the rules of the live. As well as Alec, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, who says, I recently discovered your content, and I think it's great. You've helped me get educated, and I really appreciate that. Thank you, Alec. As well as Sandra, thank you for the $20 on Venmo, and Joelle with a 10. Show some love to Sandra. Thank you so much. Show some love to Joelle. Show some love to Alec, Kyra, Janet. Thank you all so much for the love. You guys are awesome. What's up? Do you support Trump? Nope, they're gone as well. Guys, go and put a me with your age down below in that comment section if you're MAGA. Come on, y'all. Please, 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 please. As well as John. Appreciate you for the $5 on PayPal who says, fuck that orange Trump. Let's go, John. As well as...
Hey, wait. Hear me out 1 second, please. Okay, so I literally just wanted to say, I love you so freaking much. I followed your content for literally...
Thank you. I think that you're awesome. I really appreciate you for enjoying the content. Unfortunately, I'm going to kick you because we gotta start enforcing the rules pretty hard around here. But I think you're awesome. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Wait, my dad wants to debate you.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Hello?
Hey, what's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
I would be more of a supporter of MAGA as opposed to Trump directly.
MAGA is Trump's movement. He's the leader of the MAGA movement.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that he does that, people don't agree with. So I can't say I'd 100% support him.
Okay, but like knowing everything that you do now, if you were teleported back to November, would you still vote for him?
I didn't vote.
Okay, so you didn't vote for him, but you consider yourself MAGA, but you don't really support him. I'm confused.
I mean, I just think that the American government is supposed to take care of the American citizens, and I feel like it hasn't been doing that for decades now.
Okay, if the American government's supposed to take care of the citizens, how do you feel about the Trump administration, quote unquote MAGA, taking healthcare away from 10 million low-income Americans through the big beautiful bill, and now advocating for an increase of the premiums for everybody else that is still on Medicaid of upwards of 75%? That's MAGA.
I mean, unfortunately, prices go up due to all the money printing that's happened over the last, what would that be, 6, 7, 8 years? How long has it been? They've been printing like 40% of the money in the last decade.
This wouldn't be prices of Medicaid premiums going up because of the M2 money supply. This would be the prices of Medicaid premiums going up because the Republicans want to defund particular Affordable Care Act subsidies that reduce those premiums.
I mean, that seems like a very niche, targeted question. I mean, the prices of everything's going up. I can't really.
It's not
argue
niche or
about
targeted
Medicaid
at all when it
specifically.
will affect 50 million Americans.
Yeah, I mean, prices of everything's going up, which is affecting all
So
Americans.
do you want them to go up more?
I mean, unfortunately, that's happening, whether
but
we
it's-
want it to or not.
Well, actually, no, it's not happening regardless if we want it to or not. It's happening because people put Trump in office and are emboldening the MAGA movement.
No, I think it has more to do with the money supply and
No.
not manufacturing things here in America.
Wrong. Absolutely wrong. The reason why the premiums are expected to increase by 75% is literally because the Republicans and Trump have and want to continue to to defund Affordable Care Act subsidies, right? That help cover the cost of a lot of those premiums. It's not because they have too money supply. It's because the Republicans want to defund Medicaid.
I'm not super interested in whatever argument you're trying to have over Medicaid. I mean, money is getting tight for all Americans because inflation has been really devastating to everybody. Health costs sure have gone up as well. I don't really know all the specifics about that, so I can't really argue about that.
Okay, then how do you think the Trump administration is taking care of American citizens?
Well, I know he's trying to get more manufacturing back in America, which I think is a good plan. It obviously will take time to do that, and those effects probably won't hit for a long time.
I think that he's actually reducing the amount of manufacturing in America.
Where do you see that?
Well, investment in American manufacturing has gone down.
I thought there were several $billion+ deals that have been signed by large companies.
Yeah, you were kind of lied to. So Donald Trump has lied about the evaluation of a lot of those deals. I mean, like even the White House is reporting different figures than he is. And then when you actually read into the deals, you see that there's some indiscrepancies there that's like calculating like supposed like trade as a part of the investment. But I mean, still yet, regardless of that, even if these deals were to have been made, according to the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis, as well as the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, for the last 3 financial quarters, investment into American business, as I already said, has literally gone down. That's a fact, man. And it was under a massive boom during the Biden-Harris administration. The moment Trump wins the election and navigates the American economy for the first 3 quarters of this year, it's going down.
Do you remember the Trans-Pacific Partnership?
Yeah, the TPP that Trump pulled us out of? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad he did that on day 1 of his first presidency. Are you glad about that?
No, because I support the globalization of commerce. The TPP actually reduced trade and tariff barriers between the 13 countries that were still in the TPP and led to a lot of economic prosperity inside of their countries. Really left.
And we've given a lot more power to foreign corporations as well. So
well, yeah, that one definitely gave more power to foreign corporations by specifically excluding us from a deal that then led to the prosperity of other countries and corporations in other countries. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think that the American government should be aiming for foreign corporation prosperity over American citizens. Do you?
Okay, well then you shouldn't have pulled us out of the TPP because that led to the prosperity of foreign corporations.
Pulling out of the TPP led to that?
Yeah, because it just led to more like American isolationism on the global stage, in which then in turn allowed these foreign corporations to have like a larger market in the exclusion of America in relationship between the 12 to 13 countries that were in on the deal. Not to mention like his deal with like China right now, that has resulted in China having lower tariffs on us and us having higher tariffs on them, just leads to the isolation of more Chinese products from the American market and the introduction of more American products in the Chinese market, which leads to less competition in America, more competition in China. And what is a consequence? What is the result of competition? Innovation, meaning that we're going to have less American innovation and more Chinese innovation. So do you see here actually like being in support of like the tariffs, for instance, just leads to the isolation of America on the global stage and the uplifting of corporations and other countries on the global stage?
I did not say I support tariffs.
Okay, well, if you don't support tariffs and you want to reduce them, then you would have supported the TPP and you wouldn't support Donald Trump's economic policy today. Boom.
I think you kind of had a roundabout conversation with yourself about the justification for pulling out of the TPP causing foreign corporations to get more power. I go back to NAFTA and where we outsourced all of our jobs to foreign countries, and that led to more prosperity for them, our dependence on them, less wealth creation in America, and the TPP was basically going to do something similar.
Did you support the revision in NAFTA, the USMCA?
You caught me on something I'm not 100% aware of, so...
It was basically the renewal of NAFTA. It was just the extension of NAFTA that Donald Trump brokered in his first term.
I imagine he did that as a. I mean, I don't know why he did that and the consequences of that. So that's something I can't really justify or negate, unfortunately.
I know, because now Donald Trump is doing things that you think led to the outsourcing of more jobs and the empowerment of foreign corporations over American ones.
I mean, all presidents do some good things and some bad things, unfortunately.
Okay, right. Right. I actually think that the USMCA was a good thing. I think that the globalization of trade is a good thing. I think that competitive advantage is a good thing. I think that forcing American companies to make things that they're not good at making is a bad thing. I think that forcing American companies to make things that they're not good at making by forcing the American consumer to pay more for goods produced by companies in other countries is also a bad thing because that's inflation. Something that you told us like literally 10 minutes ago was something that you really hate as prices continue to rise. I think that making the American market less innovative by forcefully excluding foreign competition inside of the American market is also a bad thing that makes us less competitive on the global stage because all of a sudden we have the worst products. I think that isolating workers from other countries by Donald Trump imposing a $100,000 bill on the H-1B visa is also a bad thing. And you should agree with me here since you don't want to empower foreign corporations. Well, now by excluding some of the best and brightest minds all around the world that want to come to America to study, that want to come to America to work, that want to come to America to start businesses, by charging them $100,000 to do so, will only empower foreign universities, will only empower foreign economies by leaving these brightest minds to work and reside within them.
I mean, I think we should be helping out Americans with, you're talking about people coming into our schools and stuff. That's what you were saying with the
coming
into our
schools,
university.
coming to the workforce, student
Yeah,
visas,
so I mean,
H-1B visas.
I'm not opposed to people coming over here and getting educated. I'm not opposed to people coming into our country to have a better life, but I think we need to have a little more protectionism with respect to taking care of American citizens and American businesses and having just kind of an eye more on Americans as opposed to I know you're saying all these things helped the foreign companies more.
Right.
You probably know more about it than I do. I'm focused on other topics.
But you were the one that brought up the fact that you don't want to empower foreign corporations in the first place. You're the one that brought this topic up.
Okay.
I mean, am I wrong?
I don't know. I got a little lost in the conversation.
Well, I mean, where we're at is you're telling us that you're like against H-1B visas, like assumingly. I think that's what you're indicating. Tell me if I'm wrong, right?
I didn't say anything about H-1B visas.
I know. That's why I said assumingly. It seems to be that's what you were indicating. Like, do you agree with the Trump administration charging $100,000 for an H-1B visa?
I don't really have an opinion on that either way.
Okay, well, you should have an opinion on that because if you don't want to empower foreign corporations, obviously preventing more workers coming into America on H-1B visas will empower foreign corporations by driving them to foreign corporations compared to domestic ones.
Yeah, that's an argument you can make. You could also argue that preventing foreign workers coming in allows opportunity for more Americans to get those jobs.
Well, the thing is job opportunity is created by economic growth. Economic growth is created by productivity inside of our corporations, and productivity inside of our corporations is created by high-skilled laborers, by merited laborers. And when you're excluding merited high-skilled laborers from the economy just because they're not American citizens, well, all of a sudden you reduce the productive capacities of American companies, which in turn reduces job availability, which in turn hurts the average American citizen. So in fact, having a free market economy in the sense that we're allowing people to come into our country and work on H-1B visas and not pay $100,000 inevitably creates more productivity in our economy, which creates more economic prosperity. And with more economic prosperity comes a better standard of living for the average American and more job opportunity for the average American.
I got to tell you, you have an interesting argument. I'll have to think about it some.
Okay. Was there anything else that you wanted to debate about?
I mean, I guess we could talk a little bit about illegal immigration if you like.
Well, what about it? Do you support mass deportation? Because if so, that plays perfectly into your argument that you support American manufacturing, because mass deportation kills American manufacturing by firing 8.3 million of their laborers and forcefully expelling 11 million of their consumers, which, according to the American Immigration Council, would reduce our GDP by 1.1 trillion through $1.7 trillion per year.
I'll just say that I think that when it comes to illegal immigration, I think a lot of people that have crossed over the southern border in the last however many years have kind of been abusing the asylum system, just claiming asylum when they're economic migrants. And what percentage it is, I wouldn't be able to tell you. And I don't think we should deport everyone that's coming illegally. I think people just need to get their papers in order, and there's got to be a process for that. Whether we want to keep them in the country or not, that's going to have to be on a case-by-case basis. But I do think that, we've probably taken in more people than we can really take care of appropriately in the past 5 years. So,
okay. Well, the point number one, you're saying that there's a lot of people abusing the asylum process. Do you think that they're abusing the asylum process because they could just come into America, claim asylum, and then wait here for like a year while the claim processes, even if they know that it will eventually be denied?
I would assume that some people do that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe if you're true, the fix here. Maybe if you're true, that's not a sentence. Maybe if you're right, there we go. Maybe if you're right, the solution here is just to reduce the time that it takes to process an asylum claim. Did you know that's
I agree with that.
Did you know that's exactly what the Biden-Harris administration tried to do with the bipartisan border bill, which would have hired significantly more judges to process those asylum claims, making them go significantly faster? But then Donald Trump prevented that bill from passing by literally calling Republicans in Congress and telling them to vote against it for political reasons?
Well, I know that there was a big controversy about that bill, and I do think that speeding up that process would be a good thing. The judicial system does have a lot of what would it be? There's a long time. It takes way too long to go through the judicial system.
Right. Obviously,
that's a bigger problem than just immigration, unfortunately.
But it's going to take significantly less time to go through the judicial system to have your claim of asylum process if we have more courts to process the claims.
I don't disagree with that.
Okay, so if you support that and Donald Trump torpedoed that bill, Donald Trump is actively working against your goal here of apparently reducing the amount of individuals that are abusing the asylum processes by working against policy to make the asylum process faster.
I mean, that's one thing that was in that bill that would have been a good thing to happen. I'm sure there were other things that would have been in the opposite direction as well.
Like what?
I haven't read the bill. I think the bill's 1,700 pages or 3,500 pages, or I don't think even all the people that voted on it read all of it.
Well, I mean, then you're just assuming that it would have been harmful when you don't have any evidence to demonstrate that it would have been harmful. I think that that's going to be a terrible characterization of the way that we're supposed to think politically speaking.
Well, I don't think our government always has our best interest at heart as citizens. I think that's kind of the point I'm going back to.
Well, the next step would be for you to prove it, but I already asked you if you could, and you said you can't.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have. Life has gotten harder for Americans in the last 2 decades, I'd say.
Well, and it's going to continue to get harder if American voters think the way you do, not putting research into things that you believe in. Why? Right. That's why I think the live streams that I do here are incredibly important, and they're just supposed to inspire critical thought. So eventually, that trend could turn around.
I think you're misjudging me. I have a full-time job. I have a family I got to take care of. I don't have 24 hours a day. My job isn't live streaming and researching political topics. So, you've definitely put a lot more time and thought into this and research than I have. But, I think it would be a disservice to kind of just, assume I'm unintelligent because I haven't done as much research as you.
I'm actually not assuming that you're unintelligent. You're significantly more intelligent than the average guest I have in the live. I could tell you that. But I am definitely telling you that there's a lot of issues with your thought process, especially on the last conversation that we had relating to the topic of amnesty and immigration policy that are very obviously anti-intellectualist. You know, like you just straight up told us that although this bill that the Biden-Harris administration tried to pass that would have reduced the amount of time for an immigration claim to process would have been good in theory, you're just going to ignore the fact that Donald Trump prevented that bill from passing by basically assuming that there's also really bad things in that bill that gave Trump justification to do so. That's
I'm not
anti-intellectualist.
basically.
I'm not saying
I'm not basically
I'm not
assuming that.
okay.
I remember hearing some conversation back at the time that there were some things that I disagreed with in that bill. I don't remember what they were because there's so many things happening every day. You know, it's hard to keep a photographic memory of every occurrence that's happened in the last 10 years, which is how long Donald Trump's been in the political, scene. Every single day there's like a new controversy coming up, and obviously that's something that speaks poorly about him. Things aren't as smooth as when Obama or Clinton or even Bush was less controversial than Trump is.
Yeah, which is just one of the reasons why you shouldn't support Trump. I think at the end of the day, right, it's important for you and everybody else to do a little bit of research and make an informed vote, and don't just vote for a raging, controversial, as you just pointed out, idiot. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Well, like I said, I'm more of a supporter of MAGA than I am of Trump. Like I said, there's some things that Trump does good, there's something that Trump does bad, and I'll tell you, there's one thing he's really good at. Is he's really good at talking a lot of shit, and that gets him in a lot of trouble.
Trump is the leader of MAGA. Like the electoral power that MAGA has is controlled by Trump.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of people that are kind of, you might say, in a cult. I think there's cultists on both sides. There's MAGA cultists. There's blue cultists. I think that's a problem with our country right now. Is we're all so deeply divided and cynical of each other. We don't take the time to listen to each other and kind of like try to find common ground. We keep trying to get gotchas to score political points instead of coming to a positive conclusion.
I'm not saying that everybody on the left is perfectly rational, but I completely disagree with the both sides issue when you attempt to describe to me and everybody else that there's just as many like cultists and people that are just so blatantly detached
I didn't
from
say there's
reality on the
just
right
as many. I said there's definitely cultists on both sides, is what I said.
Well, do you have any other reasons why you support the Trump administration, or should I move on to the next guest?
I appreciate you, having the conversation with me. I thank you for not talking over me, a lot. I don't really have anything else to say, but thank you for your time.
Yep, you have a good one. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next guest. Okay, all right. Let's go and get that next guest loaded up into the box. Here we go, folks. Go ahead and hop in that queue of your MAGA. What the fuck does this guy want? Why are you back? What do you want?
You can't escape me, Dean.
I very specifically...
Escape your past.
Whoa, escape my past. What?
You can't escape what you did to me. You tried to silence me!
What's your fucking problem, bro?
You silenced the MAGA king. You can't do that anymore. Okay?
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good now. I'm good.
Okay. All right, just take a breather.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I take a breather.
Take one in.
I take it.
Take a breath. Okay. And now delete the AI photo of me with makeup on your page.
Why would I do that? It's public. It's you in public.
Why? The better question is
why do you care about that?
The better question is why wouldn't you delete it?
Why wouldn't I delete it? Because it looks lit, dude. I'm keeping that in my photos gallery forever, man. Okay, so...
Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, guys. Hop in that queue, if and only if you're a Trump supporter that wants to come up here and have a debate with me. We're going to move on to the next guest, dude. What the fuck is going on? Scarlett, thank you for the $20 on Super Chat. Scarlett with the $20 says, I do like that. Last dad, he was a rational being, maybe confused, but I'm sure he'll come around. I hope he comes around. Thank you for the $20, Scarlett. What's up? Do you support Trump?
No, I don't. I just love your show.
Beast! WU. We got to move on to the next guest, though, because we're specifically looking for people that do support Trump. You take care, though. Moving on to that next guest. And yo, Sherry, thank you so much for the $86 over on PayPal. Holy fuck, Sherry. Thank you. Sherry says, I'm sending it on PayPal so you get 100% of the proceeds and the message. Thank you for all that you do. You handle some heavy shit on the daily. My friend Shelly really likes what you do. And so do I. Well, thank you so much, Sherry. Sherry, if you're still watching, I really appreciate you so much for your kindness. Let's go ahead and show some big ol' love to Sherry down below in that comment section, as well as Bobby. Thank you for the $25 on PayPal, who says, just thanks for being you. I respect the hell out of you. I have some respect for you too, Bobby. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the stream, and thank you for the $25. Show some love to Sherry and Bobby down below, as well as Jay Lynn. Thank you so much for the $20 on PayPal, who says, how have the debates been going? They're like 50-50 today. Chat, what is your input there? I'd put them at a good 50-50. Thank you for the $20, Jalen. As well as Haley. Thank you for the $40 over on PayPal. Holy fuck, dude. Thank you so much, Haley. Let's give 400 Haley W's. That is seriously so fucking kind of you. Holy shit. You and so many other individuals have been so generous today. Haley, I'm going to read your message off, but before we do, let's go to make sure we got a Trump supporter in here. What's going on, Mar Teddies? Do you support Trump?
Yes, how's it, Dean? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What time is it for you right now?
Just before 7.
What state are you in?
New York.
What's the capital of New York?
All right, okay, you got me. You got me.
I got you. Get the hell out of here. We're gonna go ahead and find that next, guys. Only up in that queue of your MAGA. Let's go ahead and read Haley's message that she attached to her $40 donation. She says, Dean, you give me hope for our generation. Much love from Texas. Keep cooking these brainwashed MAGA cultists. Hopefully you can use this to treat yourself. You deserve it. Thank you so much, Haley. I'm probably gonna spin that at some nice place in DC while I'm there for a handful of days. Thank you for the love, Haley. And then we actually have another Haley that donated $28. Haley 2 says, thank you for educating MAGA in the way that you do. It's a very crucial time in history. Your commitment is very admirable and essential. Thank you so much, Haley, as well as I read the rest of that message to myself. Let's show some crazy big love to both of the two Haleys down below in that comment section. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
25.
Is there anything that you could do about that echo?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Because he doesn't want to give guns to trans people.
Okay, so you support taking the right to own a gun away from a law-abiding American citizen. You, sir, are an unpatriotic, unconstitutional fascist.
They're mentally ill people.
Oh, wow.
Why would I want to give a mental ill person?
Okay. I gotta limit your speech here just because of TikTok TOS. Don't worry, we heard you the first time. Can you go ahead and name one institution, medicine, or science that would agree with your claim? Don't repeat the claim. Just can you name one institution of medicine or science that would agree?
Okay. I'm not going to say what I said again, but just think about it.
Can you name one institution of medicine or science that would agree that being T is specifically mental illness?
All right, you have a nice day.
No, don't leave, buddy, because the World Health Organization, the American Psychiatric Association, the American Medical Association, the Endocrine Society, the British Psychological Society, the Royal College of Psychiatrics, the Canadian Psychological Association, the Australian Psychological Society, the European Society for Sexual Medicine, the American Academy of Pediatrics, the American Academy of Family Physicians, the American Counseling Association, and the American Public Health Association all disagree with you. As well as if we look at the proportionate crime rates to do with mass shootings in this country over the last 4 years, over 4,000 of them were committed by cis individuals, and just 4 of them were committed by trans individuals, meaning that although they account for 1% of the population, they actually account for less than 1% of mass shootings and gun violence in this country in the last 4 years. So you're going to come
Dean,
up here, tell me that being T is a mental illness, even though you can't name a single institution that agrees with you. I can
Dean,
name 17 that disagree with you. And then on top of that, when we actually talk about the proportionate rate of mass shootings and gun violence, trans Americans are significantly less likely to engage in it than cis Americans. It seems like you don't have a problem of caring about the world around you and wanting to make it better by banning gun ownership for individuals that genuinely shouldn't be able to have one, and more so a problem of your own bigotry and your own prejudice.
Sure. Where are you from?
Colorado.
Colorado. Big ups to Colorado. I fucks with Colorado. But think about it. Why would I give a mentally sick person a gun?
God, and why would I have a debate with somebody with an IQ under 15? Can you respond to anything I just said? Because now you're just repeating the original claim, even though you just debunked it.
I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about. We're going to talk about what I want to talk about.
Well, I'm talking about what you want to talk about. Why I support a single institution in medicine or science that agrees with you, and trans individuals are significantly less likely to engage in gun violence than cis individuals. Okay, and if you don't want to give a quote-unquote mentally sick person a gun, then why were you okay with giving a mentally sick 34-count felon rapist access to the nuclear codes by voting for him as president?
So he's a rapist?
Yes, as adjudicated by a civil court in 2023.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's also incredibly contradictory to the last thing you said. Law-abiding trans Americans can't have a gun. Law-breaking white American that's worth $1 billion that raped a woman, committed 34 felonies, boasted about sexually exploiting little girls on Howard Stern's podcast in 2005. Shit, give him access to nuclear codes, am I right? That's MAGA. Hypocrisy 101.
Listen, you keep giving sick people guns, they're gonna keep shootings in schools and all that. You have a blessed day.
All right. You have a blessed day too. Continue to stay in your echo chamber of no fact, no reason, no logic. Just stick on Newsmax, Fox News, and Facebook for getting your baseless talking points that are directing this country in a terrible direction. Keep on continuing to be so obsessed with 1% of the population that isn't hurting you, that is not defined as a mental illness by any reputable institution, medicine, or science, compared to caring about not just the future of this country, but the future of the world. And he left. That's crazy. We're going to move on to the next guest. Let's go to get them up in here. We got Helen connecting. He's gone. Yeah, he fucking left. Of course he did. Yo, Kiri, thank you so much for the 10 Australian dollars over on Super Chat, who says, Dean, I'm from Australia, and I really need you to stress the dangers, not only on the inside, but also on the outside as well. Yeah, I'm not going to lie, dude. All right, like when Trump was elected, I was sure that most of the harm would be kept domestically, right? No, not at all, dude. Oh my God. He's like literally hurting every other country on earth. Some more directly than others, but even indirect pain is being caused to other countries just through his terrible, terrible handling of like the global economy. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Oh, am I in this?
Yeah. I'm going to go and assume that you don't mean to be in this, so I'm going to kick you. You have a good rest of your day, my friend. Go ahead and hop in that queue, if and only if you are a Trump supporter. If you come up here and you're not MAGA, you're going to get banned. Caroline, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Caroline says, from the Roland family, we love watching you and learning as we go. Thank you, Caroline. As well as Gianna, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. And Callie, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, who said giving Argentina 20 billion just turned into 40 billion, which is not America first. Thank you for letting me know, dude. Yeah, MAGA now stands for Make Argentina Great Again, apparently. As well as Connor, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo, as well as I just read your message there to myself. Thank you so much for the love, bro. As well as Nick with the 5, Alex with the 5, Holly with the 5, and Cynthia with the 5. Thank you guys so much for the love. Olivia with the 10 cents, Jamie with the $1, Angela with the 69 cents, and Mary with the 5, and Nicholas with a 15. Appreciate you all so much for the love. If you're watching and you would like to support me, go ahead. Oh, by the way, guys, that last guest, I think is Bio said UK. Go ahead and hop in that queue if you happen to be a Trump supporter. We will happily get you up here. What's up, Chad?
Sorry, I didn't mean to join up.
No worries, man. You take care. Moving on to the next guest. We're just really trying to find one person to come up here and have a debate. A little bit hard right now, dude. I guess the Trump supporters are nowhere to be seen. Nowhere to be seen. What's up? Do you support Trump? I don't know why you guys are still spamming that. I think his bio said UK. You got to be an American citizen to be on the live. Yeah, I did cut him off. I did. Because he, apparently according to his bio, is breaking the rules. Come on. All right. Deja, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for that love, Deja. Let's go to get 200 Deja W's down below. Seriously, thank you so much for the love. Wait, are we like getting like spammed by bots? What's going on? I'm so confused. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Hello.
Hi, are you MAGA?
Yes.
Okay, how old are you?
I'm 18.
Where were you born in?
2006.
You can't be 18 born. Well, actually you can. I always forget that. What month?
November 18th.
Okay, sorry. I forget that you could be 18 born in 06.
It's okay.
Let me go ahead and thank Deja here. Like I was saying, Deja, that is DEJA. Thank you so much for the $20. Deja with the $20 says, I just want to thank you for what you do, Dean. They can never make me hate you. I am a black trans man in America where things seem dark for me, but it is people like you that give me hope. From Darion. Okay, Darion, first and foremost, I apologize for most likely dead naming you because of the name associated with the PayPal account. I'm really sorry, Darion. But Darion, thank you so much for the $20. I'm really happy that you're hanging out with us for the day. And I'm really sorry that you got to be living through the terrible atrocities of the Trump administration. It's so bad out there, man. Just I appreciate you for being here. Let's show some fucking love to Darion down below in that comment section. And yeah, Ellen, go ahead and take it away. Tell us why you support Trump.
Mainly because of his abortion policies. I feel like taking a life is like never a good thing.
Okay, is your God evil?
What?
Is your God evil?
No.
Okay, your God's good?
Yes.
Okay, then abortion's not evil because in Numbers 5:11, he straight up gives instructions to women on how to get abortions.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be like, okay.
Well, okay. Well, then he's evil because he told people how to do something that's not okay.
I mean, not a lot of things in the Bible like still go to this day. It was written a long time ago.
Okay, so abortions used to be okay, and now they're not. So God's moral law changes?
I mean, it could, yeah.
Okay. How could something that's objective change?
Well, I watch your lives a lot, and you always point out how like slavery used to be okay, and it's not now. So that changed.
Well, I just kind of accept that, okay, argument when people say it. Because I don't think slavery's ever been okay. I think it's absolutely crazy to say that it was okay at one point in history. Like, I literally think that's fucking insane. But, like, I would prefer you think that it's not okay today. And it was okay, like, a couple thousand years ago compared to thinking that it was okay a couple thousand years ago and still thinking that it's okay today. Like technically, I don't know if, like, there's too good of a defense for that position. But, like, when somebody says it, I kind of accept it because I'm just happy that you think slavery is wrong, and I don't want to convince you to think that slavery is okay. You know what I mean? And she's gone. All right, well, that one was quick. Moving on to the next guest. Go ahead and hop in that queue if you happen to be a Trump supporter, and we will get you loaded in. Oh, guys, today after the stream, I got to start packing. I got to start packing my bags. Ooh, going out to DC. Traveling's always fun. Just kidding. Dude, let me tell you guys something. A couple years back, I was so scared of airplanes, and I've had to get myself acclimated to them, because of what I do. I travel every so often, but like, God, not looking forward to it. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can. Are you MAGA?
Yes.
Okay, what year were you born in?
2006.
Okay, and how old are you?
18.
Okay, Vivian, and why the hell do you support the worst president of your 18 years of life, Mr. Trump?
Honestly, I didn't support him before. I supported Kamala, but my boyfriend convinced me.
And now you're coming on a TikTok live in front of 15,000 people with an ultra MAGA profile picture. What happened?
I know it's sad, but well, he told me that Trump is a Christian and that Christians should support Trump. I'm sorry, I'm so nervous. Yeah, so and also because of abortion, the abortion policies.
1 second.
And
you know that Hitler claimed to be a German Christian? Does this mean that you should have supported him too?
No, I mean, no.
All right, so you shouldn't just like ignore bad things that somebody is doing and then say, I'm still going to support them because they claim to be a Christian. Like, Donald Trump is perpetually contradicting scripture, like where we see in Psalms and in the gospel about like treating those that have less than you equal to how you treat the Lord your God, or, for what you give, right, to those that have less than you is the glory that you will be given in heaven, so on and so forth. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is actively taking shit away from low-income Americans, like kicking 10 million people off of healthcare, raising costs, causing inflation, causing unemployment to go up and up and up, kicking 3 million American families off of food stamps, so on and so forth. Right? That is obviously like anti-Christian. But the cherry on top here is he's not even a Christian.
I have to agree with you on that one. I just saw some videos where he talked about Christianity and said that he is a Christian. I don't know.
James 2:24? Somewhere in James. I think it's 2:24. We learned that faith without works is dead. So in order to be a Christian, in order to have a relationship with Jesus, you can't just have faith that he exists. You have to do the works. Now, what works do you think James is talking about there? What are the necessary things you must do in order to be Christian and actively maintain a relationship with God?
well, you gotta pray every day and also be confident about talking about Jesus. Help others.
Depends on who you ask. Some of those could be necessary, some of them aren't. One thing that is univocally agreed on, though, is in order to be a Christian, you have to repent to God for your sins. Donald Trump told us on a sit-down panel that he's never asked God to forgive a single sin he's ever committed, meaning that he's just not Christian. You have to repent for your sins to be Christian. He told us he hasn't, meaning he's not Christian.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, now you do. So are you still ultra MAGA, as your profile picture would imply?
Okay, I'm sorry. I love you. I just pretended.
All right. Well, I'm going to go to kick you off and move on to that next guest now. Guys, please don't troll. I would really appreciate if you want to troll just so we could try to talk to people that are actually in need of some convincing. But, you know, like, I do appreciate you guys for the love. We're going to go and move on to that next guest. Let's go to get Austin loaded up into the box. While we're getting Austin loaded in, Amber, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. Let's get 200 Amber W's. Amber says, thank you for what you do. We really need our young people doing this work.
Love you, Dean.
Hey, man, all the love to you as well, Austin. Like I said, gonna kick you looking for that X-Trump supporter. Amber with the $20. Thank you so much. I appreciate you too, and thank you for your kind words. While we're looking for that next Trump supporter, show some love to Amber down below in that chat for the $20, an incredibly kind message. As well, show some love to Lauren with the $15, who says, thank you for all the knowledge, hope, and strength you provide in these dark days. Thank you for your kindness, Lauren.
Knowledge, hope, and strength you provide in these dark days. Thank you for your kindness, all the knowledge, hope, and strength you provide in these dark days.
That was weird. Hi, do you support Trump? Crystal, you got like 5 seconds. I'm on the loudspeakers. I know you could hear me.
If I am on here, I'm so sorry. That was not done on purpose. I don't even know how I connected.
No worries, Crystal.
I'm so sorry.
Don't apologize. I'll disconnect you. You have a great rest of your day. Shout out, Crystal. Moving on to the next guest. Let's go ahead and get that next Trump supporter loaded up in here right now. We got Anthony connected. And while we get Anthony connected, Grace, thank you for the $10 on Venmo, who says it's weird how God gives his people more free will than MAGA supporters will allow for themselves and fellow Americans. You know, that's actually an argument that I used to make all the time. We don't talk about it too much anymore, though. I've moved on to like other arguments. All right, I'm going to go and assume that Emma's a troll, and we're going to move on to the next guest. Jude, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo, as well as Jude. I agree with everything that you said. Thank you for the $10, my man. Huge shout out to Jude down below in that chat. As well as, let's see here, R, thank you so much for the $12 on PayPal. R says, how much of an impact do you think Donald Trump has had on the recent wave of far-right political parties getting elected all over Europe? I mean, dude, like when Elon Musk was on his administration, Elon Musk was openly using that cabinet position to advocate for the FD. So a big fucking impact. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Hi, I was wondering if you could like debate my dad's kind of like political views, like hear me out for a second. Like I have his arguments and I was wondering if you could just like debate them.
Well, like, I mean, right now, like, we're specifically looking to debate Trump supporters on the live. In fact, like, after you, I'll go ahead and put the rules back up on the screen. But if you want to give me one, like, super duper quick in, like, 2 sentences or less, I'll respond to it, like, as I'm looking for, like, an actual Trump supporter.
Okay. So he says that abortion is murder because if you get convicted of murder and you, like, kill, like, a pregnant woman, then it counts as 2 murders. Like, how would you, like, refute that?
Of course. I'll explain how while we're looking for that next Trump supporter. Just please make sure that we're following the rules here, guys. So I actually agree. If like a non-consenting third party kills a fetus inside of a woman's uterus against her will and consent, it is murder. Why? Because murder is defined as the unjust termination of human life. And I would say in the context of a woman getting an abortion, it's not only justified, right? Because the fetus, in my mind, doesn't have any moral value, but it's also justified as it is an exertion of the right to bodily autonomy on behest of the woman. However, right, when you unconsensually kill the fetus inside of the woman's uterus, it is unjustified as the only individual that would possess the right to actually justifiably kill the fetus would be the woman or a doctor with the woman's consent. Now, if you're violating that woman's consent, if you're violating that woman's bodily autonomy and killing the fetus against her will, then it would be the unjust termination of the fetus's life. And of course, that's how we define murder. So that is like the one scenario where killing a fetus is legitimately murder. Because without the will and consent of the woman, You are unjustly terminating the fetus's life. We're going to move on to the next guest. Fun food for thought there. Fun food for thought there. Yeah, that actually is the murder of the fetus. What's up? Do you support Trump? Hello? All right. Smoke's not here. Guys, right now I think that we're facing a type of MAGA extinction almost, where we just can't find any Trump supporters. What's up? Do you support Trump?
Oh my, yes, I am. It is finally time I'm able to join. Hello, I am 18 plus. I'm American Puerto Rican. I did vote for Trump in, 2024?
Didn't he have a comedian at one of his rallies call Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage?
I mean, I would not be surprised about that because he does. I will not disagree with you. He does say some out of pocket stuff.
Right.
However,
didn't he also literally throw rolls of paper towels at Puerto Ricans after the hurricane blew through, and he defunded FEMA and gave less federal expenditure to Puerto Rico to deal with?
Okay. Just because I came out here with my race doesn't mean you have to bring out that one specific thing. I'm trying to have an actual conversation with you.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying he's treated Puerto Rico like shit.
No, you are just saying, but you're just saying, but come on. The number one thing I have to agree with is his money decrease in spending in the American economy in anything.
Who told you he
which
was doing
honestly
that?
He hasn't really done it yet. I think there should be more, especially with what's it called? Food stamps, with anything associated with that, with all our welfare state is at such a bad I grew up, I'm adopted twice. My family that adopted me first, they entirely just lived off of checks from us. From me and my 4 siblings. They did not do anything. They did not do absolutely anything at all. They would just buy cigarettes. I would have to steal money from my parents while I was 11 years old to be able to pay my rent, to be able to stay in the same house and everything. And it's not this welfare system that we've created from 2004 to 2016. I'm only 24 years old now. I have not been here the whole entire time, but this welfare system is not good.
Okay. So, in the adoption and foster care programs in America, the parents of the adopted or fostered children are given monthly checks by the government to hopefully keep up a minimum standard of care for the child. And what it sounds like was described in your scenario was your parents were given that money and then they didn't spit it on you. They kept it to themselves, which led to a terrible state of affairs for yourself where you had to steal money at 11 years old to pay rent. Yeah. I don't think this is going to be a failure of the social benefit of giving money to the parents of adopted or foster children, but this is going to be a massive issue with your adopted or fostered parents. And the way to fix this, right, isn't to defund these systems, because this will only ensure that there's more adopted or fostered children that live in worse state of affairs because their adopted or fostered parents don't have enough money to pay their way. And rather, the way to fix this issue is to look closer into the adoption and foster care systems and fix a lot of the issues that exist with them in the first place. And by the way, nobody on the right is doing that. In fact, they are only actively making those issues worse by making sure that more children are going to land in the adoption and foster care systems by taking away a woman's right to access healthcare.
I can see that point entirely. Actually, I have looked into that. I'm iffy on the point of pro-choice or pro-life. It's honestly not up to me. I'm a fucking man. It's not up to me. That's what I think.
Okay, well, Donald Trump thinks it's up to him, right?
Republican
state legislators
I don't
thinks
think
it's
that's
up to
true.
them, right?
I don't think
if
that's
it wasn't true, then we wouldn't see
at
60
all.
pregnant victims of rape being denied access to abortion every day in 10 over 50
if
states
he
because
thought it
Donald
was
Trump
up to
directed SCOTUS
him-
to overturn Roe v. Wade.
If he thought it was up to him, he would have done it.
Well, he did.
He did not overturn Roe v. Wade.
Well,
the
he says he
Supreme Court justices did.
Dude,
yes, he
literally-
appointed those justices. He got the majority in that, but he did not.
He takes
You were. He does take credit for it.
Right.
Because he's President Trump, and of
Donald
course
Trump was literally quoted
he talks
as saying,
a big game of something
Donald
just
Trump-
like he did with Israel.
Listen.
And Netanyahu was calling all
Donald
this and
Trump
that.
was
But
literally quoted as saying,
he did not create our welfare state.
Oh my God, you're moving the goalpost. One moment. You said Donald Trump is not culpable at all for Roe v. Wade being overturned. Donald Trump gloats and boasts about Roe v. Wade being overturned as one of his accomplishments. I mean, shit. He was literally quoted as saying, and I quote, "I was able to kill Roe v. Wade."
He says a lot of things. He, in his head, he can't fucking, like, he didn't actually do it. It was the Supreme Court justices. Yes, he appointed those justices.
But yes, exactly.
did
He
not
made
do
those
that. He did
appointments
not
of those
sign a bill.
justices
He did not do
specifically for the
anything.
reason of overturning Roe v. Wade.
No.
That's what he said. That's why he said he was able to kill Roe v.
Did he
Wade.
actually do it, though?
Yes, he did actually do it. He actually appointed
did not. Come on, Dean.
Dude, you're delusional.
Come on. No, there's no way he... No.
So I have a
There's
question.
just no actual possible chance.
Are you actively denying that he appointed those 3 Supreme Court justices?
No, I already said yes. He appointed those 3
So
Supreme
then he
Court
actually did
justices,
it.
but those 3 Supreme Court justices did not act on his behalf.
Well, exactly. They acted on their own behalf because they wanted to kill Roe v. Wade. But the only reason he nominated them is because they wanted to
No,
kill
I
Roe
think
v.
there was
Wade.
more reasons than just Roe v. Wade.
I want you to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out and allow me to finish speaking.
Sorry. Yes. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I will agree to the fact that the judges acted on their own behalf when they overturned Roe v. Wade. However, the only reason why he appointed those 3 judges is because those 3 judges told him that if they were nominated, they would act on their own behalf and kill Roe v. Wade. So during the appointment processes of all 3 of those judges, Donald Trump boasted and gloated about making these appointments specifically so when they're in office, they will kill Roe v. Wade. And then after those 3 appointments were confirmed, and inevitably the Dobbs decision came down from the heavens and Roe v. Wade was killed, he said, quote unquote, "I killed Roe v. Wade." Donald Trump shares some of the responsibility for Roe v. Wade being killed, is not just the fact that he allowed it to occur by making those nominations, knowing that's what they do, but he also created the system in which would make it occur by specifically making those appointments on the basis of their desire to kill Roe v. Wade. Use your fucking brain.
He made those appointments. Yes. Who has to go through every single part of our representatives, our Congress, to be appointed as a judge?
Right, you have to get confirmed by majority of the Senate, so that culpability and blame also falls on the Senate members that voted for them. The blame isn't uniquely and distinctly rooted in Trump. The culpability and blame for Roe v. Wade being overturned is shared by the justices, is shared by Trump, and is shared by the Senate members that voted for their appointment.
It is shared, and there are also Democratic voters who also voted for those appointees.
Okay, I mean, I don't know if there was or not. I would highly doubt it because the appointments were made by Trump. But if there was Democrats in Congress that voted for it, it's shared by them too.
I doubted it as well.
Then it's shared by them too. You think I fucking care about party lines?
No, I also don't.
Okay, great. So now you agree that Donald Trump shares some of the blame for Roe v. Wade being overturned. Thanks for playing.
Hold on. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Just one question. It's actually a heartfelt question. I was just wondering if like this donation money that you're getting goes to anywhere or anything at all, because I would like to be a creator like you, and if I was doing something like this, I would put it towards foster and adoption care. I just wanted to know if it was going towards anything or not.
Well, as I believe individuals with disposable income should do, I donate a portion of my income But like the donations raised off of the stream on a day-by-day basis are exactly that, my income. So they go towards paying my bills. They're going towards like paying for this plane ticket out to DC tomorrow. They go towards buying me food. 3 nights they went towards getting me a $20 bottle of vodka. But, you know, just like as I think everybody else
Yeah,
with
hell yeah,
disposable
brother.
income should, right?
Hell yeah.
I do donate a portion of my income. That is
That,
true.
that okay. That's glad to hear. That's what I honestly. I came on the stream just to have a good conversation with you. I didn't know if I was actually gonna get on or anything.
Wait, I have a question. Wasn't your first point that we need to defund social safety nets in the government, and now you're like advocating for me to fund like systems that those social safety nets would?
I believe the individual should do it, not the government.
Why not?
Well, I believe the individual can do it because the individual has more power than the. I feel the individual has more power than the actual government to do it.
What the fuck, dude? Then why does the government exist?
Because the government exists. I feel like the government was made for laws. It was just literally
the
made
reason
for
why the
laws.
government exists is because when you have a collective body and representation of the people, you could consolidate power to a central government, governing body.
But does it really represent the
governing
people?
body?
But does it really represent the people?
I mean, you could ask the question if it really represents the people after you concede on the fact that obviously the governments can have significantly more power to fund social safety nets rooted within the amount of money that they're able to expend via tax collected. off
But
of
there's
people.
also
like dude, holy shit!
billionaires.
Like, do you really think?
I will get to your
do you
point.
really
I will get
like
to one of your points.
like I'm so sorry. If like it is absolutely delusional to suggest that like we should just get rid of Medicaid, we should get rid of Medicare, we should get rid of Social Security, we should get rid of food stamps, we should get rid of Section 8, we should get rid of the VA, we should get rid of
I'm not
WIC,
saying we should get rid of it.
we should get rid of like Workers Corps, we should get
But,
rid
like,
of USAID,
Doge
we
has
should
been-
get rid of like all of these social programs that at the end of the day keep millions of people right alive by providing Medicaid to 56 million Americans, by providing Medicare to like 25 million Americans, by providing food stamps to like 23 million Americans, by providing WIC to millions of mothers, by providing Section 8 to millions of people in poverty. You think that we should just like defund all of that, right? And like let all of like these millions and millions of Americans like starve to death, die because of lack of access to healthcare, die because of lack of housing, because like you think that like personal contributions from you and I could really like pick up that shtick. Come on, insane.
I actually really do believe that. It's yes, the government can help.
Give me a single economist that agrees with you. Well, okay. Yeah, I guess you could go and point towards.
Yeah, I can name fucking 25.
Well, you could point towards the anarcho-libertarians, but they're all wrong.
Well, we can debate that as well, but it's no. I really think that the individual person at home can do more in their life and to their community than the government will ever do for our community.
Okay. And so how are we supposed to like replace Medicare and Medicaid with individual donations from the people?
Individual, and not just from the people. It's from all of American citizens, even the billionaires, the
Wait,
I guess
if
the
billionaires-
poor
if
people
bill- if
really,
bi-
the poor people are
I
the
have a
one who
question.
need the benefits,
If
obviously.
billionaires,
but also
if
the poor
billionaires
people,
would do this, why aren't they already doing it?
Because wait, say again. So I'm sorry.
If
Go ahead.
billionaires would do this, why aren't they already doing it?
Well, how many billionaires are on the left compared to the right?
Completely irrelevant.
Completely
question
no.
to the question that I asked.
That is
I'm gonna-
irrelevant. Yes, that is irrelevant.
It
but
is irrelevant. Yes. So now
how
that we've
many
agreed that it's irrelevant,
how
answer my
many-
question. If billionaires,
how many dollars
if,
are
if
donated?
billionaires, one moment. If billionaires would do this, then why aren't they already doing it? Answer my goddamn question.
How many? How
No,
many
shut the
dollars?
fuck up. I don't want a question in response to my question. You're actually starting to annoy
okay,
the
but
shit
like,
out of
okay.
me. Answer my question without a pivot. Answer my question without a question. Answer my question with an answer. If billionaires would do this, then why aren't they?
You muted me. Wait. Oh wait. No, I'm here. Okay. The dollars have been given to both political parties, and not to the people.
Not an answer.
That is an answer.
How is that an answer?
Because how many billions of dollars have been donated every single fucking election that could be going towards Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, all this and that. From
Musk.
billionaires.
Elon Musk.
From billionaires.
Elon
from
Musk. Elon Musk.
middle-aged families, from millionaire families, from whatever, from any aspect of life.
Okay, hey, my friend, you're very confused. Can I tell you why?
Go ahead.
If we got rid of social safety nets, point number one, that wouldn't stop billionaires from making political...
See, I'm not advocating for that.
You are. You're so fucking confused. You don't even know what you're arguing for.
No, I'm advocating for less and more controlled.
I'm sorry. You're so confused. I want to kick you. You're so fucking confused. This is egregious. Like, oh my god.
But like, no,
oh my god,
it's
so
is it really being
You're, like,
confused?
yes,
or...
you are so confused.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you the question again. Okay, if billionaires would do this, like if billionaires like would fund like public social safety nets, willingly opt into them, then why aren't they already doing that? Right? It's not like we don't need them. And in your
because
first
the
answer,
incentive is not there.
Okay, and what incentive would be there?
I mean, I guess there wouldn't be incentive because they are losing money and losing value in their company and anything.
Oh, the incentive of actually like helping humans? Seemingly that incentive's not enough.
No, yes, I believe that is an incentive. I believe that the better life of a human is an incentive.
Okay,
But do they believe
but
that? Does the
incentive,
individual human believe that?
But that incentive already exists, and they're still not doing it. So what new incentive would exist to make them do it if we were to defund social safety
The incentive
nets?
doesn't exist in every human being.
Right, particularly the billionaire human beings, which are the ones that you're telling us would be able to socially fund these public benefits.
Which majority of them fund the Democratic Party.
What does that have to do with anything? Dude, you are so confused. Oh
I like
my
how
god.
I get muted every single time I say
Yes,
that.
I'm muting you because you are confusing me, you are confusing yourself, and you are confusing every viewer watching from home, okay? Political contributions of billionaires are unconcerned, and the dialogue that I'm trying to have with you to demonstrate that it is a terrible idea to endorse, right, a volunteer-based system for providing social safety nets for those that need them, compared to a force-based system of taxation on the American public. The reason why the volunteer-based system would be a bad idea is because if it was a good idea, then we would already see super rich people doing that, and we don't. And it's not like there'd be any new incentive that would exist if we defunded publicly fund social safety nets through the government for them to willingly opt into volunteer-based contributions to fund social benefits. No new incentive would exist to make them to. The only tool that we could use to literally force or make them to would be taxation, okay? The only way to appropriately equip and fund social safety nets to take care of low-income Americans is to do it forcefully through taxation.
So when we increase those taxes, do they actually go towards that?
Well, the hope is that we'll be able to get policymakers in Congress and we'll be able to get policymakers in the White House to do that, right? Like Kamala Harris and how she wanted to reduce taxes on 120 million Americans in the low and the middle class, increase the child tax credit, and give a first-time homebuyer subsidy. But I'm so sorry, man. That is just a completely separate and different conversation from the one that I'm trying to have with you, where I'm now attempting to convince you that your idea here of making these public benefits funded on a volunteer basis is completely shitty and terrible and stupid.
No, I actually saw your vision through that, and actually
Perfect. Now I'm going to move on to the next guest. I can't deal with you and how confused you are anymore. Annie, stop coming back. We've already talked twice. I don't want to talk to you a third time. What are you doing, Mikio?
There's something about you, honestly. It might be the way in which you have a cult-like following. I'm very impressed with what you've developed. I'm not gonna lie.
So you came up here to like demean my followers?
Well, no, I came up. Well, first in good faith.
1 second. I gotta thank my. 1 second. Just give me a second. I gotta thank my cult members. Elena, thank you for the $50 over on Super Chat. I appreciate you for that love, Elena. Elena with the $50 says, hey, Dean, I gotta ask. A few months ago, somebody asked about the band Sleep Token. Did you fuck with him? Any thoughts? Keep up the great work. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot to look into them, Elena. I appreciate you for the $50. I think that you are absolutely awesome. Let's go ahead and thank Cult member Elena for the $50 on Super Chat down below. I do really appreciate that. It's so incredibly kind of you. As well as Air, thank you so much for the $10 over on Super Chat. I appreciate that, Air. And yo, Victoria, thank you so much for the $100 over on Venmo. Holy shit, Victoria.
Wow.
Oh my God, dude. Let's get 1,000 Victoria W's down below in that comment section. And can I get a W, Victoria, from you?
W Victoria.
W. Anthony, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for being my cult member. As well as I just read your message there. Thank you for the $20, Anthony. Let's go to get 200 Anthony W's. Harley, thank you for the 5. Sarah, thank you for the 5. Shane with the 1 penny. And Naughty, thank you so much for the $15 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for that love, Naughty. Recently got into an argument with my mom over her supporting Trump, and at the end she realized she was very misinformed about a lot of things, and she was really going to research him. But a win's a win. Good shit, Naughty. Honestly, that is a win. I'm fucking proud of you. You've been watching for a while, so I bet you went into that conversation incredibly well equipped. Show some love to Naughty down below. As well as David. Thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Show some love to David. W Colt. Amber, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo as well. I really do appreciate you guys for the love. As well as Tyler, 18 seconds ago. Thank you for the $20 on Venmo as well. Show some love to Tyler. Tyler with the $20 says, my fiance and I cannot stop watching you daily. Lesbian love, hardcore cult member here for life. Appreciate you for the love. Emma, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo as well for the Cult Fun LFG. Noel, thank you so much for the $5 over on PayPal. Good to see you, Noel. Thank you for the $5. As well as Anthony, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. Thank you, Anthony. Show some love to Anthony. Anthony says, MAGA goalposts have built-in wheels. Am I right? Dude, Anthony, you kind of cooked with that. Thank you for the 20. As well as Ariana, thank you for the $25 over on PayPal. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you so much. Noel, thank you for the $10. Amanda with the 5. Thank you guys all so much for the love. You guys are absolutely fantastic. As well as, let's see here, Elena with another $10. Thank you so much for the love. If you ask it another month, I bet I'll have you an answer. As well as V, thank you for the $20 over on Super Chat, who says, we have 3,000 billionaires in the world. If they wanted to help, they could, but they refuse to. Absolutely, V. Thank you for the $20, and you're literally spot on. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for the love. Now, Annie, I actually have no intention of
My
debating
name
you.
is Anne.
Anne, I actually have no intention of debating you. I just kind of wanted to waste
That's
your time.
fine. That's okay if you don't want to debate. Just a quick question. Did you hear what Trump did in the Middle East this week?
Burn, thank you so much for the Viking hammer. I really appreciate you for the love. And Pear, thank you for the glowing jellyfish.
Holy crap!
Sorry, I just wanted to waste her time. Hey, Santana.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, man. The debates today have been, insufferable. But for, a weird reason.
The last guy, he was definitely confused. He sounds so conflicted. It's like he was fighting you, even though he knew it was true. It was weird.
Yeah, chat. I feel like we've had a lot of guests like that today. Just super confused people that I don't know. Have you guys noticed that too? It's been 4 or 5 people today that I feel have just been way too confused to engage in productive dialogue. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's weird. It's the guests today, they haven't been for the most part, outside of that one incredibly racist guest that was up here when you were up, Santana. Everybody else has just been pretty chill, but just confused. I don't know. Anyways, what's going on in Texas? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do. And how's it going to y'all?
It's going all right. Let me thank a couple people before we hop into the debate. Super duper quickly. Lauren, thank you for the $5 on PayPal from the Cult member. Thank you, Lauren. Katrina, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal for the quote-unquote cult fees. Thank you, Katrina. Show some love to Katrina. As well as IDA, good to see you again. Thank you for the $9 over on PayPal. And Felicia, thank you for the $15 on PayPal. Felicia says, here's $15 for the cult fees. I'm so happy my cult leader wants the best for everybody. 10 out of 10 cult leader. Let's fucking go, dude. Yeah, for real. Best cult ever. As well as Ashley, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. And I'll have to give them a listen, Ashley. I need to give Sleep Token a listen for sure. Thank you for letting me know. And thank you for the $20. As well as Shayla, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo, who says locking in as a cult member. Thank you, Shayla. And Kat, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo as well. And Madison with the $11, who says, if you start a cult, consider me down. God, I fucking love you guys. You guys are awesome. Go ahead and take it away, Texas. Why the hell do you support Trump?
Okay, yeah. So basically, I support Trump mainly for 3 reasons: being mostly anti-abortion, being pro-peace, and being pro-business for the most part.
Anti-abortion. Do you think that abortion should be banned even in circumstances of rape?
Yes.
Ew. God, why?
Unless it could potentially kill the mother. So I guess I shouldn't have said yes completely.
So why do you think it should be banned in circumstances of rape?
Well, I think because I believe life starts at conception, and I believe it's still a human being.
Scientific fact and not a moral argument.
Yeah.
So I believe it is a genuine human being in the womb,
Right.
Regardless of if it was conceived by rape or not.
Yeah,
Rape,
but once
so.
again, that's a scientific fact. It's not a moral argument for why you think that it's wrong.
Okay. I guess I'm a little confused.
What's confusing about that? I'm so sorry. Do scientists study what is, or do scientists study what should be? They study what is, descriptive
What
facts
is,
about
yeah.
the reality around us. But like morality
Yeah.
is what should be, right? So when you say that abortion should be banned, right? Should be, right? That's a should be. That's a moral.
Okay. Fair enough. That makes sense. Yep.
So why do you think that it
that's
should
because
be
I
banned in the
believe-
circumstances of rape?
Yes, because I believe every human has the right to life,
There we
regardless
go.
of how they're conceived.
There we go. Now we're getting towards a moral.
Okay, yeah. My bad.
John, thank you so much for the magic world. I appreciate you. I love John. So check this shit out. Did you know that you could be consistently pro-life and give the right to life to a fetus while still holding the view that if a woman or girl is raped, she should still be able to access abortion because she has absolutely no obligation to be forced into providing her bodily resources to sustain the life of the fetus against her will and consent. She was forced into sex. She was forced into pregnancy. She's being forced into keeping the fetus alive by allowing it to be housed in her uterus and kept alive via her bodily resources. I think she should be able to go to a medical health professional, access healthcare, and evict that fetus from her uterus, even if it kills it as a result, as she's under no obligation to keep that fetus alive by forcefully giving it her resources.
Okay, I understand that argument, and I honestly don't think Trump would disagree with that.
But
I
you
could
do.
be wrong on that.
But you disagree with
Yeah,
that. I'm asking
I
you
do.
why.
But I was just trying to respond to your point on why I still
So why do you disagree with me
support
there?
Trump.
That like seemingly like a victim of rape would have no obligation to keep the fetus alive?
Well, because at that point, she would be forced to murder the fetus if she was not to go through with the childbirth.
Listen, I
And
don't even think
I
it's
think
murder. I just think it's like, listen, let me give you an analogy, okay?
Okay.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, sure, I'm ready.
Okay, you make just enough money to keep a roof over your head and food in the pantry. And every dollar that you make goes to buying yourself food. It's just enough food to keep you healthy. For the next 9 months, somebody's going to be breaking into your house through the front door because you've been leaving it unlocked. And they're going to be taking half of your resources, half of your food in the middle of the night to then turn around and eat themselves to sustain their own life. Now, if they do this for the next 9 months, you're going to experience mental and physical pain and trauma because you're like low-key starving, right? And there's around like a 3% chance that at the end of the 9 months, you're going to die from starvation. Do you think that you should be well within your legal right to lock your front door at night to prevent this person from taking half of your resources against your will, even if it causes them to die from starvation as a result?
Would that be a perfect one-to-one analogy? I mean, that would be more of an indirect killing, whereas abortion would be a direct killing, would it not?
So you're okay with the indirect death of this person taking half of your resources if they're dying from a lack of access to your resources that you have no obligation to give to them. So therefore, are you okay with the abortion pill for like all women, including rape victims, because it indirectly kills the fetus by cutting off the supply of progesterone through the umbilical cord, starving the fetus to death, just as in that analogy, it would be starving the person that was taking your resources away from you without your consent to death?
Well, no, because even in that analogy, the person who is stealing your resources would have other alternatives, and they'd still have a conscious mind to be able to go.
I'll imply here, it's implied via the analogy that they don't have other resources because if they didn't have access to yours, they die. But I don't mind it like explicitly stating that for the record.
Okay, so in this scenario, they would 100% die if I closed my front door.
Yeah, they'd 100% die from starvation if you prevented them from having access to your resources by merely locking your front door at night. Yes. Should you be within your legal right to lock your front door at night to prevent this theft?
Well, I mean, I would of course say yes.
All right. Conceptual takeaway is you are well within your damn rights to deny somebody access to your resources even if they die as a result. Right?
Yes.
A great
Yes,
victim
it's
is well
just
within her right to deny access to her resources on behalf of the fetus, even if the fetus dies as a result. Right?
I mean, I just can't get behind that because you have to directly. I just don't see how the analogy could work in the real world.
The real world one-to-one analogy is the abortion pill. The abortion pill just literally denies the fetus her resources by cutting off the supply of progesterone through the umbilical cord. So I'll say it again. A woman should be able to be well within her right to deny the fetus access to her bodily resources, even if the fetus dies as a result, right?
I mean, it still has the right to life, though. I mean,
so does the person that was breaking into your house in the analogy, but you still said you should be able to deny them your resources.
And that's what I was hung up on, was how could you know for certain 100% someone is going to die if you lock your front door?
Because it's an analogy? It's implied that you do?
Well, in the
you're asking the wrong questions here, buddy.
What should I be asking then?
You should be either conceding that you think women should be able to access abortion because you hold to the moral principle that you should be well within your legal right to deny a third party access to your resources even if they die as a result, or you should be giving me a counter argument to demonstrate why it's actually not hypocritical for you to give that response in the analogy, but to then give the opposing response as it would relate to a pregnant victim of rape.
Okay, that makes sense. You know, I've never heard that analogy before. I'm just caught up.
I made it up. It's my analogy.
Okay, well, that was smart. I'll think about it, too. But I guess and I know everybody's cooking me right now for getting hung up on this analogy, but I don't see how you can one-to-one compare
so then what is
shutting someone out of your front door.
Then what is the logical symmetry breaker?
Well, you said they will 100% die if you shut your front door.
Right. What's the logical
And I know it's an analogy, but in real life, you could help them outside of that.
And so now you're okay, dude, literally listen to yourself. You have to change the analogy in order to make it non-equivalent. That proves it's equivalent.
Well, how is that changing the analogy, though?
Because it changes the relevant access to the fact that if you lock your front door at night, the individual taking your resources would die from starvation as a result.
Yes, it's just.
Oh my god!
How could that be a real scenario?
All day, I'm gonna start crashing out. All day, it has been guests that dude, don't understand anything. Oh, okay. You're asking how could be a real scenario?
I think that if Dean gives you an equivalency and for some reason it makes sense, but now it doesn't make sense because you feel like your argument has shifted, then maybe your argument isn't a good argument. Maybe you don't actually have a good reason to hold to the argument that you have.
Right. And additionally, you're asking how can that be a realistic hypothetical? Well, I mean, it actually is realistic. Imagine you lived in a cabin alone in the middle of the woods. Somebody comes by, and we employ the analogy in order for them to live and not starve to death. They need access to your food. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to clarify, the analogy doesn't need to be super realistic. For instance, when you watch a Superman movie, Superman's not realistic. Lex Luthor is not realistic, but still yet when you engage in this unrealistic hypothetical of watching a Superman movie, you're still able to derive moral principles and moral conclusions. It was wrong when Lex Luthor tried to kill Superman, even though the hypothetical of some crazy billionaire with access to a stone from another fucking world 1 billion miles away, and then the superhuman kryptonite, right? Completely unrealistic, but you could still draw moral conclusions from it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I guess I I guess I'm just a little hung up on blocking the progesterone. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
In the baby from the womb. It is similar to locking someone out of your cabin, but at the same time, it would be more similar to, I don't know what words I can say on here, but killing them directly, like with with a gun.
How? In both scenarios, are you just cutting off their access to resources that are keeping them alive?
Well, I mean, in the cabin scenario, they would still have the ability to walk, maybe find someone else, maybe not, maybe build a shelter for themselves. But in the baby scenario, you're cutting off any chance they have of autonomy.
In the analogy, for the last time, you are also cutting off any chance they have at survival, since you need food for survival. And that is self-implied in the analogy. If you can't operate inside of the confines of an analogy, you can't operate inside of the confines of logic and reasonable discourse in debate.
Okay.
Right?
I'm trying to get there.
I mean, I'm really trying to work with you here, but like, it's just really hard for me because like, you're like, oh my God, you're like using this incredibly like illogical view, right, to justify forcing rape victims into pregnancy for 9 months. Like, dude, think about it, okay? Think about it. Like, the real world impact of forcing a rape victim to maintain pregnancy and to give birth is immensely harmful. Immensely harmful. And you're trying to justify this real world, immensely harmful, just gross view with a conceptual position that is really illogical and has now been proven wrong by me via the use of a very simple analogy.
Okay, fair enough. But in the analogy, me being, or the girl being in the cabin would be the same as the girl giving birth, right?
Birth is what?
The person in the cabin shutting the person outside of the cabin out would be
the same thing as a woman taking an abortion pill and stopping the supply of progesterone to the fetus.
Well, but you in the cabin with 9 months of resources would be the same as the girl who had to give 9 months of resources to give birth, is what I'm asking. Just to clarify.
Birth is not considered in the analogy. Only pregnancy is considered in the analogy.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
but like,
I thought you had asked me at the start.
Somebody like taking half of your resources in the middle of the night, right, for 9 months straight is what is like logically equivalent to pregnancy.
Yeah. That part is just
you still don't get it, do you?
Oh my God.
Well, I mean,
I feel like I'm
it's
going
just
crazy today. Does
you in
anybody
the
else
cabin.
has anybody else like understood me all day? Like, am I like losing my ability to effectively communicate? Because it's been like every guess.
I understand you. I'm just trying to ask
I haven't been able to effectively communicate with like anybody today. Am I like losing my ability to effectively communicate?
No, you're not.
Okay. Why can't I effectively communicate with you? The point's clear. Let's rehash that. Okay?
Okay.
In the analogy, somebody's taking half of your food in the middle of the night. They're going to do this for the next 9 months. It's going to physically and mentally harm you. And there's even a 3% chance that if they do this for the totality of the 9 months, you'll die from starvation yourself. You could prevent them from taking your resources by locking your front door at night and disallowing them to have access to your resources. But in doing so, obviously, because they no longer have any resources to keep themselves alive, they'll die. And this is analogously equivalent to a victim of rape being forced into providing her bodily resources and her habitat, her uterus, to the fetus for 9 months to keep the fetus alive. At any point, just like in that analogy, I believe that rape victim should be well within her right to deny the fetus access to her resources. The same way in the analogy, you think that you'd be well within your right to deny the burglar access to your food. Even if, just like the analogy, in denying the burglar access to your food, the burglar would die as a result. And in the real world, when a victim of rape would deny access to her bodily resources and habitat of her uterus to the fetus would die as a result. These two scenarios are logically equivalent within the extent of proving that if a non-consenting third party is taking your resources away from you without your consent, you should be well within your right to deny them those resources, even if they die as a result.
Okay. Okay. So you mentioned that if she is forced to give birth, it is a 3% chance of dying. Or if I let the person into my cabin, in the analogy, it would be a 3% chance of us or of me dying.
Yeah.
So would it not be fair to say that if you go through the abortion, it is a 100% chance of killing the fetus, but if you don't go through it, then it's a 3% chance of you dying and both parties living?
In the analogy where you agreed you should be well within your right to lock your front door at night, there's a 100% chance of the burglar dying from starvation, but you don't care. So why should I care when it's about the fetus?
Yeah, I'll have to think about that. No, that's a good point.
I don't think you understand the analogy still.
I mean, I understand.
Okay.
It's just.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
You claim to be pro-life, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you support social safety nets like healthcare for all, paid paternal leave, free food for all kids and things like that, all the necessary safety nets?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so you do support all of them.
Yeah, I would say to an extent. I mean, if it goes too far. Well, I mean, if you just abuse the expenses after a certain point, the social safety nets would no longer work. But yeah, generally I'm for free lunches for kids, libraries being well run, such stuff like that.
Okay. Where's your premise lie as far as you being anti-abortion?
Well, I'm a Christian, and I just believe everyone has the right to life starting from conception.
Okay.
And I believe it's unjust killing and abortion.
So I know this conversation, and I don't know how often you watch Dean, but possibly you've heard the conversation, and if you're a Christian, I'm sure you know what the bitter waters are, right?
Could you elaborate on that? To which section? To which chapter you're referring to?
Numbers 5.
Okay, let me pull that up.
Bitter waters is a prescription for an abortion. It talks about what happens if a husband suspects his wife of infidelity, or even more so if the husband is just jealous. Which, Dean, that's a wild one for me, because you could just be jealous and take them through the prescription of an abortion. Like, that's all the reason that you need. Not even think that they actually did anything, but if you're jealous, then you can do it. But it walks through the actual prescription for an abortion, and it also deems it a property crime, not murder. Which, I mean, like, murder is a sin, cause of sin is death. This is a property crime. If deemed to be the child dies, then you pay a fine. So it's a clear distinction.
What's going on with the YouTube?
Okay, yeah, I'm looking at it here.
Okay, then after this, by the way, I'm going to move on to the next guest. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Thanks for having me on, by the way.
You committed the unforgivable sin of not being able to understand my analogy, so...
No, I understand the analogy.
But feel free to quickly finish out this conversation.
Okay. I'm just trying to look.
Or better yet, if we're going to do that, I'd rather just say this one quick thing, and then we'll wrap it up here. Like, you should advocate for, instead of trying to control women's body and advocating for anti-abortion or whatever, you should be pro-social safety nets. And also you should be pro-mandatory vasectomies. Vasectomies are a lot more safe than abortions, and are a lot more safe than any other type of birth control that women can take.
Mandatory?
Yeah, mandatory. Mandatory, Dean. They're so worried about, like, women's body, like, snip, snip. Right? I mean,
mandatory for who?
It's effective.
Is this like a counter argument to like the pro-life view?
It is.
Or like, okay.
It is.
All right.
Mandatory for how, like, all men, you're saying, or?
Yeah. Instead of trying to worry about women's body, let's control men's body. Like, you can't make the babies without the baby batter, so we just attack the baby batter.
I mean, I see the corner you're backing me into.
Or just endorse everybody's right to bodily autonomy, so I don't have to get a mandatory
Exactly.
vasectomy. You know what? Fuck you. I don't want a mandatory vasectomy.
But I mean, you see the contradiction because most men are willing to regulate women's bodies, but when you start to talk about regulating men's body, you guys are unwilling to do so. So there's, of course, a double standard there, but it's also a lot more practical. So
I understand what you're saying. I don't believe that fetus is completely the woman's body. It's inside her
right,
body.
but you
and she's getting
again,
resources
this
to
is
it.
if you go with mandatory vasectomies, then you eliminate the chance of even having the fetus. It's reversible. It's an outpatient surgery. It's safe and effective. You can even freeze your sperm if you're worried about, because it's after I think it's like 5 years, the actual possibility of it being reversible starts to decrease slightly. So if you're worried, you can freeze your sperm beforehand. I mean, it's safe, effective. It's more safe than IUDs, than the shot, than pills. Like, it's the best way to go. And again, you address the initial root cause of the problem, because without the baby batter, you don't make the babies.
Okay. I see what you're getting at.
Yeah. Anything else you want to add on, man? I'm like I said, I'm ready to move on to the
That's
next
it.
guest.
That's it.
All
Okay.
right.
I appreciate y'all for.
Have a good one, Texas Sticklers. We're going to move on to that next Trump supporter. By the way, folks, we have around an hour left on the stream, 50 minutes. This is going to be my last stream for a couple of days. I'm not going to be live tomorrow. Actually, I might be live in the morning. Maybe. I might be live super duper.
You got to do it before you go. Like, hop on and at least say bye.
Right? Well, I might be on for like in 2 hours, really early in the morning, like 7 a.m. PST type shit before my flight. But if I'm not on tomorrow, I won't be on tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, or the day after that. So it's either going to be 2 days off or 3 days off. I'm going to be heading out to DC and having some fun on CBS. So I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing out there. I hope it's not terrible. I think it's like a whole try to bring the right and the left together and a discussion. Let's not this isn't a debate. Let's just talk about how important discourse is. And I'm excited because I'm going to go out there, sit down, and I'm not going to compromise a single one of my values. I'm just going to see what happens. I don't know. It could be cool. It could be awesome. It could be super duper fun. Or because of my uncompromising values, maybe it might turn into a little bit of a debate on live national TV.
Uncompromising values, maybe it might turn into a little bit of.
Oh, all right. CJ's not here.
Definitely at least be interesting. Hey,
Yeah.
do you like Jamaican?
Well, that's like a vague, Jamaican what? Jamaican music?
Jamaican food.
Jamaican food.
Jamaican food.
I was going to say, I fuck with Bob Marley. Jamaican food? I don't know.
Quite frankly, Dean, you are quite
funny. Quite frankly, funny fetus. I don't know if I'm familiar with I don't know if I've ever had. I've never sat down at a table and eaten something and been like, this is Jamaican food. I don't know if I've ever done that before.
I'll send you this place in DC that if you want to check it out, it's really good. They have amazing oxtails. So I'll send it to you.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I'd love to try it out. Jesse, thank you so much for the 10 Canadian dollars over on Super Chat. Jesse says, Dean, thank you for being a voice for so many women on your live. And thank you to any other man watching the stream who also stands up for women's rights, health, safety, and well-being. I appreciate you for the love, Jessica. Trust me, one day it's going to be common sense. I thought it already was under Roe v. Wade, but I guess we were all very, very wrong. As well as Kelly, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Kelly, that is so incredibly kind of you. For all of y'all watching the 13.5K over on YouTube, on TikTok, and I don't know, however many of you guys are still left on YouTube. I heard that stream crashed. Go ahead and show some love to Kelly in that chat. Kelly with a $50, seriously, so incredibly kind of you, super generous. Says, for the abortion argument, if you have a good kidney, should you be obligated to give up one to save a life? Keep crushing, Dean. Yeah, that's also another variant of the argument. You're absolutely right, Kelly. Thank you for the $50. As well as Heather, thank you for the $5. Appreciate you so much for the love. Emily with a $1. Michaela with a $5. Saying, isn't this Anne's third time up with you? She got cooked the other 2 times. Yeah, she was up 2 times before. I don't know if I'll be talking to her again. I don't know, though. Maybe if I ever want to cook her again, I'll bring her back up. I'd also like to thank Gwendolyn. Thank you for the $10 over on Venmo, who points out something super important about the last guest and his inability to understand that analogy. Gwendolyn says the difference is that in the analogy, it was his home versus a woman's home, aka her body. One is okay. In one scenario, it's okay to lock the door, and the other, it's not. If all men could get pregnant, I bet we wouldn't be having this argument. You know, Gwendolyn, that's exactly what runs through my head whenever I have a guest like him. You're absolutely right. They get it when it's about them. They don't get it when it's not about them. As well as Cassie, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Cassie says, as somebody who's had an abortion, I appreciate you shitting on Republican men who don't know shit about abortions or women's bodies. Love you. Love you too, Cassie. Thank you for the 10. As well as Rachel, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. Thank you so much for the love, Rachel. Rachel says, wow, I really want to read Rachel's message out here. Okay, pay attention to what Rachel has to say here. This is awesome. Thank you for the $20 once again. Rachel says, hey, Dean, we spoke the other day on autism, and I appreciated your standpoint so much that I've now agreed 100%. I've been watching for 2 weeks now, and honestly, if I could go back to the last election, I would have never have voted for Trump because I know better now. Thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. Rachel, you're why I do what I do. You're why I do what I do. Listen, there's so many goddamn haters out there. Most of them are on the right because they don't like what I have to say. And as well, there's a lot of them on the left, okay? I have a surprising amount of haters on the left that think that for me, this is just all some grift that is ineffective and actually hurts the left. When in all reality, we have people like you, Rachel, and thousands of others that will either tune into the live quietly or actually come up and talk to me like you did and eventually change their mind. I think that what we're doing here is great. And Rachel, I think that you are great for having an open mind in the exploration of truth. Huge fucking shout out to Rachel down below in that chat, as well as a super big W here to Chris for the $100 donation over on Venmo. Chris, that's nuts. That is so generous of you. Thank you for the $100. Chris with $100, that is CRYSS, says, Dean, please make a cheat sheet of rebuttals to the common reasons why people support Trump. Your cult needs a study guide. Please never stop spreading the knowledge. I actually think that'd be incredibly beneficial to do. Maybe I should do that on the plane. Chat, how are we feeling? I'd actually be down. I actually would. Thank you for the $100, Chris. As well as Wyatt, thank you for the $15, saying it should never be a man's choice what a woman does with her body. I agree with you, Wyatt. Thank you so much. As well as Sahas, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. Sahas says, I'm pro-life, but I don't agree with other Republican policies. Do you think that it's morally inconsistent for me to vote blue? I'm going to tell you no. Whatever gets you to vote blue is what you need to hear. No, it's not morally inconsistent. There you go. Awesome. I'd also like to thank Jamal. Thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal for kicking Annie earlier. Appreciate you for that love, Jamal. Show some love to Jamal down below. As well as Allison. Thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. Brian, thank you so much for the $25 over on PayPal. Brian didn't drop a message, only the love. Thank you so much. As well as Pure Anarchy. With the $20 on PayPal, who says, Dean, you have a stalker. Watch out. Thank you for all the good. Thank you for the work and be safe in DC. Pure Anarchy. I'm not going to lie. That kind of read as a little bit of a threat. I know that you didn't mean it that way, though. But thank you for the $20. Huge shout out to Pure Anarchy down below. As well as Cindy with the 2. Liliana, thank you so much for the 10. And then one last big one here. Then we'll finally hop back into the debates. There's just been a couple people that have supported me and donated while I was talking to the last guest that I wasn't able to thank when they donated. One last big one here. Christopher is back again with us today with another $100 donation over on PayPal. Christopher, dude, you have been in here the last 2 days in a row supporting so goddamn much. Like, dude, Christopher, that is insane. Thank you so much for the love, man. Once again, Christopher actually just attaches the same message that he did the last couple times, saying that we need to update our immigration paths, that our current paths exploit all, and that we need to be doing better by updating the speed and making more paths to be here legally. Christopher, you are a goddamn man on a mission, and I respect the hell out of it. Your message is loud and clear here. Thank you for the $100. And welcome in, do you support Trump? All that for no Trump supporter. Okay. I'm actually going to try to proactively thank people a little bit more when we're in the debate. I know that's something that I don't do, but it's something that Parker does. And I think I understand why Parker does it. Because I don't want to take up too much of the valuable time of all the viewers. So I'll try to do it like
Hello?
mostly, like in between the debates. Or, sorry, like during the
Trump
debates.
supporters have short attention spans.
Yeah. What's up, user? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm Maga. I'm 20.
What year were you born in?
2004.
Okay. What month?
October.
What day?
The 20th.
So you turned 21 in how long?
4 days.
Okay, I'll trust it. Whatever. Why do you support Trump?
Well, okay. So I'm against illegal immigrants, and that. And I just don't like it that they make our economy bad, and they also steal our jobs.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm really nervous.
How do they hurt the economy?
Well, they're just making the economy like they go down.
Okay. What? How do they like? What fact of the economy goes down because of undocumented immigrants? Are you talking about like GDP? Are you talking about like GDP?
Yeah, that.
Use your brain. When we have more people in the country, we're gonna have more contribution to the gross domestic product.
Yeah, but
You're trolling, right?
no, I'm just like really nervous. I'm really sorry. Oh my god. I'm just like my heart, you can actually feel it. Whoa. Okay. But look, okay. So I'm working as a nurse, right? And okay, so maybe and I have coworkers who are Mexican, right? Like, okay, 2 of my coworkers are Mexican. This is not because I'm racist towards Mexicans. This is just because so, and I just feel like sometimes they are just like really loud also. So it just
What the fuck? What the fuck are you, dude? What the fuck? No, I'm sorry. I've had too much bullshit today. I'm kicking you. What the fuck are you saying? Oh my god. Yeah, goodbye. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the next guest. All right. Yeah, they're probably loud screaming in your ear because of how fucking terrible of a person you are. Probably pissing them off, making them angry. They're raising their voice in response to your madness. It has nothing to do with them being Mexican. It has all to do with you being insane. Welcome in. Do you support Trump Outdoor Adventures?
I do.
Okay, how old are you?
I will say I do not. I will say I do not agree with everything that he stands for. We can agree on that for sure. I've never agreed fully with any president that's ever been ever. But I will say, when it comes to immigration, since you guys are kind of on this topic, I do not agree with him deporting everybody and their mother. I think it would do, because me personally, I'm blue collar, so I deal with a lot of Hispanic, people that I work with all the time. And there are some amazing people out there that are such hard workers that will outwork Americans any day of the week and build this country pretty much. So I definitely disagree a lot with him just flooding ICE agents and like crazy, just getting everyone out, because I think he should focus more on like the criminals and type stuff. But I don't agree with the Democratic side, because when it comes to pew pew stuff, I don't know if that'll get you banned or what, but because I'm pro Second Amendment, like huge, and obviously Democrats are very against that. And so that's just why, me personally, I
Gun
can't
control?
agree with him.
Okay, all right. Real quick before I respond to that, Maggie, thank you so much for the $5 in Venmo. I wanted to read yours off real quick because this is actually important. Hey, Dean, love your work so much. Can you educate me on whether I should vote yes or no on Prop 50 in California as a liberal? My parents have different beliefs, so I don't know what to do. Maggie, vote yes. Prop 50 is the only thing that is going to ensure that the Republicans don't rig the midterms, okay? You got to vote yes, okay? If you won't take my word for it, take Obama's. Obama has been quiet for so long, and he released like one of the first videos I've ever seen of him, right, talking about the policy of right now, just to tell you to vote yes on Prop 50. Go ahead. So you told us that you don't stand with the left because of gun control. So actually, right now the Trump administration is trying to find a way to infringe on the Second Amendment. Did you know that? Well, he's gone.
That at all.
Oh, you're really cutting out, man.
Am I back now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Donald Trump directed his DOJ to attempt to find a way to ban gun ownership for, law-abiding trans-American citizens. And the issue with that is it's a massive infringement upon the Second Amendment to the extent where even now the far-right NRA has been publicly outspoken about how much they hate it and how bad they think it is because of how big of an infringement on the Second Amendment it would be.
And I do agree with you with that. I do not agree with him doing that because it would be the same as the left coming at us, conservatives, and trying to take the same right away. So, yeah, you're right. I do not agree with him on that as well. When it comes, there's so much other gun control stuff that I feel like the left is trying to put on about firearms and stuff like that.
Where's this guy going? Okay, so I'm sorry. You just continue to cut in and cut out. So yeah, what would Kamala Harris have done if she was elected to do with gun control that made you support an authoritarian?
I think she would have pushed to take guns away completely.
Okay, well that's just completely fucking propaganda. I'm so sorry. Can you please give me one reliable source to demonstrate that was one of her plans?
She says she's just like a degenerate, and it's just she's so far out of there. It's just insane.
Dude,
that's a slur, slap nuts.
Dude,
jeez Louise.
God, that is unfortunately the average American. Why? Dude, dude, oh my God. Yeah, listen to that. Listen to that, folks. No, that's the way that we should confront American politics. Accuse, the Democrats of wanting to do preposterously insane things that they never said they wanted to do. And then when asked for any reason to believe this is what the Democrats did want to do, just call them our words. Oh my God, man. Moving on to the next guest. Every guest today. Go ahead.
I was about to say I have a couple of quick thank yous, and also just an FYI to you. I heard you mention YouTube. I don't know if you saw this, but apparently there's an outage occurring with YouTube. Certain people have access, certain people don't. So that would explain what's going on.
Yeah. I mean, I assume so because it's been going in and out for the last couple hours. But I'm having no issue at all with anything on my end. By the way, I'm going to start streaming on YouTube in 4K. So I have better, higher quality clips. So for everyone, that's going to be cool. I'm going to do that here when I get back from DC. But yeah, let me go ahead and thank a handful of people. Kindle, thank you so much for the $10 over on Vimeo. Kindle with the $10 says I usually listen to your debates instead of watching them. And I was completely unaware of how fine Santana is. Anyways, I love you.
Oh, what?
Yeah, you heard that. You heard that, Santana. Appreciate you for the $10, Kindle. As well as Justine, thank you for the $5 on Venmo, who says, thank you for your work. Appreciate you, Justine. As well as Haley, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo as well. Haley says, there's a man open carrying an AR-15 and a bulletproof vest boarding Florida State campus right now due to open carry laws being legal. Dude,
yeah,
that's some degenerate shit. Literally get it out of here. Insane. Daniela, also, I appreciate you for the $10 over on Venmo, who says, just voted yes on Prop 50. Let's go. Let's go, Daniela. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for voting yes on Prop 50. That's huge. As well as Robin, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. Skylar, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. Thank you so much, Skylar. X with a $1. Hannah with a $5. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'd also like to thank Benton. Thank you for the 20 big ones over on Venmo 4 minutes ago. Benton says, I need help on doing research. I've learned a lot on your lives, but I'm trying to fully educate myself on these topics. That one's a hard one. All that I could tell you is that Reuters, AP, and AP are my main two go-tos. I think that Reuters and AP are genuinely pretty consistent most of the time. I'd also like to thank womp 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 guys. No guys, guess what just happened? Terrible news. We just got our multi-guest suspended. No. Oh, wait, actually, I gotta say, out of all of the days where that could happen, I mean, pretty good for it to happen today, right? I gotta say, because we're about to head out to DC. I'll get access back on the 18th at 6 p.m. Let me 18th on 6 p.m. is when I'm landing back in Junction. Yo, honestly, I gotta say, I gotta give it to TikTok. Yo, Tim, thank you so much for the wolf, man. Holy shit. Appreciate you for that love, brother. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Tim. Thank you so much. I gotta say, out of like all the times when I could possibly lose like guest access, get banned on TikTok, so on and so forth, this has got to be the best. But I can't appeal it. Guys, what's the over-under? Do you think the appeal's going to go through? What's the over-under, chat? Oh, it's one of the glitched ones. It won't even let me submit the appeal. God damn it. It won't even let me submit the appeal. Terrible. Yo, Dash, appreciate you for that galaxy, man. Thank you so much. Yo, how about this, okay? I'm going to be doing a Q&A with you guys for the last little bit here. Ask a question in the chat. Feel free to ask a question on Venmo or PayPal. Top of the screen or link in bio. I'm going to try to get around to as many as possible. Mary, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. Mary didn't leave a message. Only the love. Appreciate it, Mary. You were awesome. That's very, very kind of you. And Tim, appreciate you for that galaxy. I feel like we haven't done a Q&A for a while, so that's what we're going to do now. Feel free to ask a question. Any question at all. Olive Oil in the chat says height. 5'9". Fucking Karma Cooks in the chat says biceps. God, guys. I'm a political figure, okay? Okay, right now, I will not be flexing my biceps on TikTok Live. How bad will that look for my presidential campaign in 20 years? I'm just kidding, but calm down. Somebody in the chat says, motherfuckers. No, that's not, no Q&A. No Q&A. Carly, appreciate you for the $1 in Venmo saying, is this the right one? It is. It is. Yo, let's see here real quick. Haley, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal. Haley says, what Harry Potter house are you or would you be? Dude, I feel like I would be a Gryffindor. You know, I feel like the snake people, I forget what they're called. You know, they're a little bit too mean, you know, but I feel like the Gryffindor, you know, they're chill. I always like the Gryffindors. The Hufflepuffs or whatever the fuck, isn't that another one? Hufflepuff, that's it. Christopher, thank you for the $5. Christopher says, hey, Dean, love everything you do. I use your knowledge every day in my life, destroying others in debates. Dude, let's fucking go. You guys are awesome. Let's fucking go, Christopher. Caleb with a $1 on Venmo says, what's your favorite Backseat Lover song? I have so many. Favorite Backseat Lover songs, folks. Okay? Words I Used is awesome. Elevator Days is fantastic. Sinking Ship and Heavy would have to be my top 4. Let's see here. Jenna, thank you so much for the $10 over on Venmo. Jenna says, I just moved in the Colorado Golden area. Any good recs for the fall season here? You're in the place for the fall season. Golden is beautiful in the fall. Oh my God. It's so pretty there, Jenna. You just moved to quite possibly the prettiest place in the fall in Colorado. That's why it's called Golden, literally, because it is golden in the fall. Yo, Yanessa, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Yanessa says, do you think Trump is violating the Hatch Act with the treating of closing of Democrat programs and why? No, I don't think so. I don't think that he's violating the Hatch Act. However, I think that his cabinet could be violating the Hatch Act by putting partisan messages on like the agency websites. By the way, guys, I'm going to say this now. I will not be able to get around to every question that everybody's asking. So if I don't answer your question, I'm really sorry. I just want to be transparent. Like there's just a lot coming in and I really appreciate everyone for the love. Dana with $5 says, who's going to tell him they could just go to your Venmo to see your biceps? Is my bicep in my Venmo profile picture? Let me see. Everyone in the chat spamming Momo. I think she's downstairs right now. It's not really. It's not. She was lying. It's not really in the Venmo profile picture. Gwendolyn, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. Appreciate you for the love. Thank you so much, Gwendolyn. Let's see what else we got here. Like I said, seriously, I will not be able to answer all the questions. Bobby with the $5 over on PayPal says, when are you going to do one of the round table debates again? Actually, can't leak that. Never mind. No answer. Sarah Bell with the $5 says, hey, Dean, I love you so much. What is your IQ and how do you retain information so well? Well, I mean, I don't think I've ever taken like an official IQ test. I don't really think that they're like the best means of dictating somebody's level of intelligence. I think I'm like really good at retaining information though, because I have like an incredibly photographic memory. Very, very sharp photographic memory. You know, that's the way that like I remember the guests too, if like they're coming up again when they've already been up before, is just by remembering what their profile picture looks like. And when I'm making claims about Trump, I'm literally envisioning like the source where I got that claim from in my head. And like, honestly, a lot of like the information that I get on the daily activities of the Trump administration is from Aaron Parnas. So I picture Aaron in my head a lot. Funny enough. Joseph, thank you for the $10 on PayPal. He says, hey, Dean, I just learned who you were a few weeks ago and I'm an independent and love what you do. God bless. Appreciate you for that love, Joseph. Thank you. Thank you. Heather with a $6 says, hey, Dean, love from Scotland. What are your thoughts on gun control? Well, I love saving people from death, right? And gun control does exactly that. Common sense gun reform is not just something I think we should have. It's a necessity for the future of this country, especially considering the epidemic of gun violence that we have in America, with averaging over one mass shooting per day in this country. Molly with the $10 over on PayPal says, have you ever thought about making a book? Actually, yeah. I mean, I think I'm too young though. You know what I mean? I'm way too young. I'm gonna need to do that when I'm like 35, if I were to do it at all. Dallas, thank you for the $5. I love watching you, and my friends are unsure when I became so political. I want to do more to educate people. That's awesome. You get involved in your local community. Seriously, get involved in your local community. That is so important. So important. One way that anybody could be directly involved in politics is just by being involved within your local community. Matt, thank you so much for the $50 over on YouTube. Thank you so much for the love, Matt. Let's get 500 Matt W's. Matt says, would love to meet you someday. My wife and son are huge fans. We live in CO Springs, Denver event sometime. Matt, I'm going to be honest. I'm sure I will. You know, if anything, I'd actually be in Colorado Springs compared to Denver, since Colorado Springs is significantly more Republican. So I might be in your backyard one of these days. Trinity, thank you so much for the $25 on Venmo. Appreciate that, Trinity. Trinity says, go Rams. Keep up the amazing work, Dean. Boo, Rams. Okay, let's go Buffs. L Rams. CSU's Dookie. Just kidding. Joshing around, quite frankly. Keep up the amazing work, Dean. Been watching the lives for a while now, and tonight I'm watching it while I'm cooking dinner. Thanks for keeping us educated. Thank you, Trinity. I hope your dinner turns out well. Michael with the $15 on Venmo says, I just wanted to say type shit on the DC trip and recommending finding a local coffee shop. Dude, oh my God, Michael, the coffee in DC is fire. Oh my God, I just looked at the TikTok chat. Here I am, happily talking about the DC coffee. And what is the TikTok chat doing, may I ask? Y'all need to find God. Find him. I don't know if you will. Try to find him. I'm not sure if you will find him. But you should try really hard. Really hard. Try really, really hard, guys. Now they're doing it in all caps. Oh my goodness gracious. Y'all crack me the fuck up. Y'all crack me up. Carrie, thank you for the $5 on Venmo, who says, do you see yourself continuing to debate in years to come? Actually, yeah. I love the debates way too much to ever stop. I mean, eventually, I'd assume that kind of like what I do will become more well-rounded, and I'll include other things. But I think I'll never really stop the debates. Jacqueline, thank you for the $15 over on PayPal. Jacqueline says, first night of my new place after leaving my Maga ex. Of course, I'm spending it watching Dean. Go get him. Dude, good for you, Jacqueline. And listen, I understand breakups are hard, even if they're Maga. I hope that you have a fairly easy time of getting, life back on track into the new apartment. I'm rooting for you. Thank you for the $15, Jacqueline. As well as Hannah, thank you for the $2 over on PayPal, and I appreciate your kind words. Molly with $5 says, get pushed. Thank you for that, love. And Caleb with a $1 in Venmo says, merch drop coming soon. I don't know. I have never felt like I want to drop merch. Maybe because I think it'd be underwhelming and you guys would hate it. I'll get around to it one day. I will. I'll get around to it one day. Justice, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Justice says, I don't know if you could touch on this, but why does Destiny talk bad about leftist YouTubers? I watch him and I watch you too, and it doesn't make sense. Well, there's like a big divide there. So Destiny and Hassan were like really, really close friends way back in the day. And then something happened and they stopped being friends. And then they started the feud. And then that feud developed into something more than just Destiny hates Hassan and Hassan hates Destiny. And more so into liberals don't like leftists and leftists don't like liberals. And honestly, it's interesting because I don't fall into either of those two categories identically, which is like interesting because like most political creators on the left are either firm establishment liberal or like firm like socialist communist leftists. For me, I'm not a socialist, I'm not a communist, I'm not a leftist. I'm also not an establishment liberal. I'm like this weird mix of I disagree with the establishment in all these ways. I'm further left than it. But at the same time, I'm still not a leftist. So I'm trying to bridge that divide. You know what I mean? Because we need stronger electoral power on the left. All right. I think that there is a lot of infighting that is warranted. Okay. But there's also a lot of infighting that isn't warranted that I see often. Like I had somebody on the left call me a literal Nazi sympathizer yesterday. I made my way in to a progressive male edit. Sorry, not a progressive. What do they call it? Performative male edit. Ugh, I don't know. That's like the baseless infighting. I wish we could grow past that. I do. Chat. Is this what happens? Is this what happens when I'm not doing the debates? Y'all gotta calm down. Y'all gotta calm down. Y'all gotta bring yourselves back to reality. Mindy, I appreciate you for the galaxy. You see Santana down here? Santana's gone. Okay, this is Santana's ghost. It just left the picture of his camera when he got forcefully kicked because I lost guest access. But if Santana's ghost could speak, he'd tell you guys to quit it. He'd tell you guys to cut it out. Just imagine Santana telling you that in your head. Jamie with the $10 over on Super Chat says, how do you feel about James Tellerico? Actually, pretty big fan. Think he's incredibly well-spoken and could be good. I'd be interested. I'm very interested to see what the outcome is of his race down in Texas. As well, Sharon with the $10 on Venmo says, what do you think of the leaked Young Republicans text messages? Unsurprised. I am happy that they got fucking thrown all over the internet and those people are being held accountable. And I hope that their careers are cooked forever because that is just simply the way so many people on the right communicate. And in secret, right? Blast their asses. Blast all of their asses. Metaphorically. That sounded weird. You understand what I meant. Mary, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. Mary says, where do you think Kamala Harris would have gotten the $25,000 for the first time homebuyers program? Yeah, well, so that was estimated by the Treasury to cost $1.2 trillion over the course of the next 10 years. And that's exactly, funny enough, how much money would have been raised given that we were to increase the corporate tax rate from 25% to 28%. So that's where it would have came from. And then Jacob and Tasha, thank you for the 4. You guys are awesome. Jacob and Tasha, thank you for the 4. You guys are awesome. All right. We have been on live for 3 hours and 45 minutes. To do this. To do this. Maybe I forgot how to just be on my own. I always to do this up here. Somebody over on Venmo is asking the real question right now. Caitlin with a 40 of some girl named Sarah. I have no fucking clue. Sarah that tags me in like every single one of her posts. And she like nearly posts like 5 times a day. And she's just been doing this for like months. For months, she's been tagging me in every single one of her posts 5 times a day. So that's a good question. That's a good question that I don't have an answer to. Great question. Angel, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Angel says, I'm a U.S. Marine veteran and the son of a deported Mexican mother. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just hoping you could read my TikTok message. Angel, what's your TikTok? I'll read it. I'm really sorry to hear that, man. Seriously, I'm terribly sorry to hear that. As well as Jesse with a 3, Caleb with a 1, Jennifer with a 3, and Windsor with a 2. Thank you. All right, chat. I fear that time has come. We are going to go ahead and in for the evening. There's going to be no flexing here. Quite frankly. Appeal denied. You fucking weirdos. Thank you so much for the $30 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love, Carolina. Carolina asks, Parker a liberal or a socialist, or neither like you? God. Let me thank one last person. Thank you so much for the... Thank you. A liberal or a socialist, or neither like you? He's like a progressive liberal. That's what we are. Like you. He's like a progressive liberal. That's what we are. Either. Probably not going to go live tomorrow morning, and I'm going to see you guys in 3 days. But if I do go live tomorrow morning, which I might, it's going to be on @DNCD. But if I do go live tomorrow morning, which I might, it's going to be on @DNCD, so make sure to drop it a follow once you leave.